Purchase a brand new Buick or GMC from Key, it comes with the lifetime powertrain warranty. We are professional grade. Stop in today and ask for Derek or Brian, Key Buick GMC on the corner of South Side and Gate, or go to keybuickgmc.com.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. This update brought to you by Royal Pest Services. It is finally here. Tonight, the Florida Gators kick off the 2023 season at Utah. Gators head coach Billy Napier on the road trip to Utah.
They've got a fantastic record at home. It is an opener. It is read out. We understand they'll be at full capacity. There'll be some Gators out there, too.
Tonight is the Gators' first regular season Thursday night game since 1992 at Mississippi State. Gators kick off at Utah tonight at 8 o'clock. Our pregame coverage of Florida football begins at 5 o'clock on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. It's right now 88 degrees at 12:04. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time. What time is it? Showtime. Prime time.
It's XL Prime Time. Featuring Joe C.
Dang it!
Matt Hayes.
I'm not running over the Barnett Tower and heaving myself off.
Mia O'Brien.
One of those bugs just flew in my mouth.
And Leon Searcy.
Keep everything above the way.
How you like me now? How you like
It
me
is
now?
game day. Gator game day. Or Gator game night. They kick it off under the lights, 8 o'clock. That's right.
You with your old school scratch.
That's right. I got
know.
The old school
Gator
scratch and gator on.
I know.
insignia.
I look across the bow and he walks in the production.
Hey, listen, we're the home.
I don't think I've ever seen you with a Gator shirt before.
I know it's
I
true.
love orange and blue to the death.
Yeah, and so you and I have something
Thanks,
in
JJ.
common
Appreciate
today. But we're the home of the Gators here in Duval, and so I can happily wear it. And a proud alumnus. Lord knows it took me long enough to get through there that I could wear it. But look, the game is flipped. We all know it. Cam Rising not expected.
I've never
to
seen
play.
an injury being celebrated like this before.
Oh my gosh! I mean, throw a parade, JJ. I mean, this is, and it's like I told Hayes Carline yesterday. I said it's great news that Cam Rising is not expected to play tonight. But what could be worse if Florida goes out there and doesn't face him
And loses. Right, now you guys got to win.
Yeah, he's 18. I believe he's 18-6 as a starter. He's a pretty good player. And beyond that, they lost their backup quarterback to an injury a couple of weeks ago, at least 2 weeks ago. So then they move, Bryson Barnes in there, and he's the guy who's expected to start tonight. So they're 3 deep. And they plan to use a Wildcat quarterback as well.
Let's talk a little bit about that wrinkle, because that's been, I know at least in Vegas, in the prop bet world, that's been the real talk of the town west of the Mississippi. Matt, exactly what can we anticipate from a team that already has a great run game, but now where did this Wildcat quarterback come from?
Well, he's been there. Nate Johnson's been there. It's just, he's now a option because, they lost their quarterback. So now they're doing everything they can to manufacture offense and to keep Florida guessing. My guess is the idea of Rising playing all along was never going to happen, but they kept saying that. So Florida wouldn't have to prepare for Nate Johnson, who's going to do a lot of, I'm sure they'll have plenty of zone read packages for him. And you got Bryson Barnes there who can throw the ball, but they're going to do a lot of different stuff. There's no doubt about it.
They're going to test this Florida front and see what they've got. They honestly are. They're deep. Yesterday we mentioned this. We'll mention it again. Of the most returning production for college football teams in, whatever you want to call it, FCS. Is that what it's called? I can't even keep track. But FSU is the deepest team with returning production. Utah is 16th. Florida's outside of the top 100. So they have a deep football team.
Is that not good?
Yeah, it's just a matter of trying to make sure.
100?
It's what?
Is that not good, being outside the top 100?
No, it's not. Well, listen.
Although with
it was
that
good
club,
and bad.
maybe it is, right?
Yeah, he wanted to run some guys off. So it's not even necessarily where Florida is. It's the fact that Utah's 16.
So, man, Florida's strategy going into this game, I mean, does Utah have do they pose any threat? They don't have the wide receiver. They don't have their top tight end. Do they have any do they have any because look, if I'm the Florida Gators, I'm putting 8 in the box. I'm going to stop the run. If they don't have any threat to pose any threat vertically, then that's going to be my game plan, unless you tell me that Utah has something that could actually stress their secondary.
No, their receivers are pretty good. They got Micah Pittman from Florida State, actually. I mean, I think if you're Florida, you go there, and the one thing you do more than anything is protect the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't turn the ball over, you've got a chance to get it to the fourth quarter. If you turn the ball over and that place gets rowdy, because it is loud there. Mm-hmm. And I know you all are laughing, thinking, oh, no, Utah, wait till you see it tonight, okay? Mm-hmm. That's a crazy place.
Yeah.
So just
it holds
keep
the
crowd.
Well.
Why can't Florida just run it down their throat and beat them by
that's
like
what it
22?
is. That's the whole point is don't turn the ball over, run the ball and play defense.
Yeah, that's
simple as that. If you turn it over, you're in trouble.
And send the house.
So the Storm and Mormons, they get kind of loud. They rowdy.
They're not Mormon. They're not Mormon.
They're the other side.
They're more Catholic.
Yeah, Catholic. I thought they were Mormon.
They're Christians.
BYU,
the Storm and
Brigham Young,
Storm and Mormons.
On the Mormons.
Okay, gotcha.
Where you had to walk with the.
Yeah.
That's why they have.
I already told you the story.
Did you walk uphill or was it?
I don't remember.
When he told us the story by himself, he was like, "It was a mile."
It was a mile,
and then
it was uphill.
And
when we had,
it was half a mile.
Yeah, when we had a witness on, he was like, "It was a half."
Okay.
And he was like, "It might have been a quarter."
The bottom
mile.
line is we walked.
Yeah.
The bottom line is we walked off the bus.
And you did
that's
carry
all
your
that
pads.
Hey, thank you very much.
But that's why they call it the Holy War out there, because it's Christians and the Mormons. So they're not all getting along.
I thought they were on the same team.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
They believe in, I think, different things. And so it's a little slightly different. And they take on more wives, those over there in Provo.
Which I've always said we should adopt.
Yeah. It's not a terrible idea. I hope
serious?
I don't
love
want
you, baby.
that, but, you know.
With all that said, though,
I think we should be open to it if possible.
You said more wives?
He says I wouldn't want that.
Says the newlywed.
It's pretty stressful enough with one.
I'm trying to save you, JJ, and pivot.
Yeah, Nevy just said I do.
I am trying to save you and say, with all that said, in case you missed it, we did record and we just posted to the 1010 social channels our host's official predictions.
Yeah.
And I knew I had to wear the home field Utah shirt to balance out some of the Gator.
Oh, there's Gator everywhere.
Some of the Gator on this station, man, alive.
Yeah.
Like, and listen,
You need repellent.
we have a lot of UF alums. I totally get rooting for your team, but I just don't see a world in which a team that already had the better roster in Utah, and certainly the quarterback is important, but having home field advantage is also important.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just genuinely curious. I think Florida keeps it close. Yeah. Those boys in Vegas always know.
Right. Well, the crazy thing is right now it's right at 4.5, and we'll see if it moves a little bit more as we get closer to game time, because for me, the tight end decision is also a big one, because they haven't said definitively what the deal is with the tight end. And so that is a big piece of this, but it could change, it could move, but the number has been around 44 as far as the total
Yeah, the
goes.
money line's really, you got it under.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of people are thinking low scoring, slow scoring, that type of stuff. But all I know is it's Gator game day, so let's just get it going. It is game day, ladies and gentlemen, the beginning of the weekend. So let's look at this game, make some predictions. You can call the pop-off line if you want, 207-7071. Are you nervous? Are you fired up? You could hit that, talk a little smack, especially if you're a Gator fan and you're a believer now in Graham Mertz, the Mertz mission that it is out there in Utah. So give us an idea. And then LSU, Florida State, such a massive ball game between today and tomorrow. Seminole fan, Raging Cajun, Bengal Tiger, Bayou man. Give us a prediction on that one, 207-7071.
It's a tragedy that thing's not being played in Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, the
first one should have been played in Baton Rouge, and this one should have been played in Tally. Yeah. And I understand they're getting a lot more money. I get it.
That's it.
But, man, these games need to be played.
Explain why it's more money
because they
have neutral than one.
They have a title sponsor, and they pay each team money is what they do.
Yeah,
so
and
LSU's getting more money to go play in Orlando than they would going to play in Tallahassee. And Florida State got more money.
They have that Chick-fil-A kickoff or whatever in Atlanta. Why can't they just have a title sponsor for the game at home?
Well, because think about it. The kickoff.
Because you would do that with every game.
Talking about.
Yeah, why not?
But the kickoff you're talking about is in Atlanta, so it's not on a campus.
Right, but this one we're talking about is not.
And
because they're not because those guys aren't sponsoring just regular games. If it's a unique standalone game, where it's not on campus, then they'll sponsor it.
And you know what the trick of it is? It's shared revenue versus one team getting the bulk of it. That's the answer.
I get it, but it's not a unique one-time game if they're playing 2 games in 2 years.
Yeah, they basically agree.
It is because why they can't have that sponsor 2 separate home games.
Listen,
I don't know.
You're the guy in there right now talking about multiple wives. You just got married.
But
trust me, in 2 years you're not going to want multiple wives.
I don't get
right?
it. Why can't those be home games? I don't get it.
I thought you were going to say, why can't I have multiple wives?
Now he's going to be.
I was waiting
One's
for it.
plenty, bro. Trust me.
And from a ticketing point of view, they want it not to be like straight 50-50, but they want more of each to be there. And so that's a bigger deal as well. And they get them into New Orleans, all those heads on beds, everything's a big part of it.
Yeah, it's different. It's just that the signage they use, JJ, can be all over the stadium.
Okay.
It can be
So
all over
instead of
downtown.
like FSU already has this sold.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So what are we
theirs.
expecting, like split fan-wise
I
in
would
Orlando?
say, I'm going to just guess it's
90-10?
What? I was going to say 75-25 because I think you'll get some travelers.
Yeah,
but
90-10 is disrespectful to LSU.
because 90-10 is what you'd get.
The problem is they're gonna try
basically
and,
in Tallahassee.
They'll buy up those tickets. Like they'll pay anything, the LSU people.
Yeah.
So it might be more than 90-10, but
Yeah.
it should be like 90-10.
Mhm.
But I don't know if that game was sold as part of the season ticket package, because if it was, I can guarantee you there are LSU people that bought that.
Yeah.
Bought season tickets just for that game.
Oh, yeah. Big Vic and the boys are all fired up. They may be making the trip down there, or they may just be in the Brown in their living room watching it. So
and they'll
we'll
scalp
see.
them, too, before the game.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
They will buy their way in. Look, Cajuns, it's kind of like, all right, let's do the 10-10 take here real quick, JJ, because this just blew my mind.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
Sonny's, tailgating, football. You could be at home. You could be on the road, away game, home game, whatever it is. Make sure you get with Sonny's and get ready for your tailgate. Ribs, chicken, pork, brisket. They got it all. Turkey, all the delicious sides. And make sure that you plan ahead and get with them. Now, Sonny's is part of next week. Okay,
Next week is the first week of the
promote the
Sonny's
whole
kickoff,
thing
yeah.
because you've got your
Bueller
titles.
Air Conditioning and Sonny's Barbecue.
Yeah.
College football Saturday kickoff.
And
With
it's
the,
you and
pitmaster.
Shannon.
Me and Shannon Snell, the
Love it.
pitmaster.
Yeah. So
Full-time host.
Yeah.
Not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Next Saturday's first
Okay.
one.
All right.
Gator
next
game was Thursday, so we didn't do one Saturday, so we're starting next week.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So get ready for that. I never thought that I would do a 10-10 take that included volleyball, but I was just blown away. Okay. There is nothing to do in Nebraska other than grow corn and go to games. Okay. And it really doesn't matter who's there. They set a record, 90+ thousand for a women's sporting event. And it was quite a scene. It really was. Now, I love watching college volleyball here and there. Okay, but I've never sat down and watched the whole game. Yet 93,000.
93,000.
93,000 poured in to Lincoln Memorial
Stadium
to see a volleyball.
They're really good at volleyball.
Wow.
And that's
they're very good.
and
That's why it happened.
I hope they
yeah,
won.
they won. But I said to Matt, I
JJ's like are they really good?
I
yeah.
said this to Taylor Dahl when she was asking me about it this morning, and I said that's the one beautiful thing I will give Nebraska. As much as their football program has been down, which a lot of that I attribute to the walk-on program and the failed previous regimes, the reality is at least they got good at another sport.
Yeah, they give him credit now. And again, young Annie played 4 years of volleyball. I loved watching it, but I just never would have imagined 93 would pour in. There you go. That's
It
the
was
10-10
my
take.
second favorite Nebraska video of the day.
Yeah.
After Eric Gilbert breaking into a vape store.
This guy.
Oh my! Did you watch that?
Yeah.
And the cops are just standing outside waiting for him.
You
Oh,
talking
it was
about
hilarious.
the tight end?
It's not hilarious.
Yeah,
it's
from
actually,
Georgia.
it's actually
Oh, it's
sad.
so
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's
He's been
actually
everywhere.
sad.
He's just
It
from
is.
Georgia, right?
He's got it. He's
And
got
he was
a
at
mental
LSU,
problem.
too.
He's got a
He
mental
started
problem.
at LSU, went to
Oh, wow.
Florida for like 3 classes, then went to Georgia, and
This guy needs a book deal.
He
And-
started
and-
at Florida, actually committed when
Yeah.
he was a high schooler. Then he went to LSU, and then he committed to LSU, flipped committed to LSU, went to LSU, played as a freshman, was really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Then he went to Georgia, then he went to Florida, then he went back to Georgia, then he went to Nebraska, and I feel bad for him. He's got a problem. He's got a problem.
He got to have mental issues.
Yeah, he's got a problem.
Got to be.
Well,
It's not,
yeah,
I mean, it's not. I mean,
Maybe he's just
if you're if
a
it's 2 in the
criminal.
morning and you're grabbing a concrete cinder block and throwing it through a door, and then you have to go kick down the liquor door inside the liquor store just to go get a couple bottles.
No, it was a vape store.
Well, whatever it was, he's got an NIL deal at Nebraska. He doesn't need that. He's literally got a problem, man.
It
It's
could be a
sad.
knucklehead.
It's
okay?
very
that
sad.
actually could be the problem.
He does have a problem.
He could be a knucklehead. You're
Idiot
right, but
is
he's
a
got problem.
diagnosis.
Yes,
Okay,
I agree. With
I know
that.
it is.
And-
I'm not making excuses. I'm just
Not
saying the
every
guy's got a problem.
criminal is like mentally unstable.
Right,
You know?
and don't
There's
discount
just some
dumb.
thugs.
Okay, do not discount dumb. It's real. And
No
so-
compassion for you, huh?
Well, no, because he's. I don't have. Why do I have to have compassion for a guy that I have? You know what I have compassion for?
Look how upset he got.
You know what I have compassion for?
What?
The guy who had the cinder block thrown through his
Let me
store
tell you
window.
something.
That's who I've got
if he
compassion
were playing for the
for.
Gators right now and this happened, you just said, he's got a problem, man.
Listen, when he
Maybe
left
have him
LSU,
sit out a first half.
Am I
I
right?
would think
man?
so too. I would
right.
think so too.
If
By
he was
the
a
way-
Gator,
Come on,
you'd be
Cash.
saying,
Yeah.
he's a good dude. He's
By the
probably
way,
a problem.
Matt keeps selling this line of thinking that I'm just like all Gator all the time, and that I got these.
You're a
no,
big Gator.
I'm not in that pile. Okay.
See,
You
we
know
should have
I'm
been
not
in the
that
house when
pile.
he watched Swamp Thing. He would be
Yeah.
like, "Oh man,
Right.
you know."
I did love
He
that.
was pumping
I
his
did
fist.
love
Oh
that.
yeah,
No, he
you
wasn't.
Should have had a secret camera.
no doubt you were, man.
I love
You
that.
were
I did.
strutting around.
I was I was topless.
He was in his boxers.
And every, exactly.
But the other thing is, which by the way, today I went topless in front of two ladies, and I had to go for the dermatology appointment. It's one of the most humbling. It's just one of the most humbling things. And anyway, clean check, all that stuff. But I had to do my push-ups.
I'm sure
before
they
I went
were
in.
very proud. Get your bulk up.
Yeah, I mean, I had to do my push-ups before I
I'm
went in
sure
there.
they were very
Are you
professional.
serious?
Oh, very professional, but it's humiliating.
They're not just like, look at this guy's man boobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Listen,
The
you be
side
proud
boob.
of your man boobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Mine's every day.
It's just it's just one of the worst,
Lovely, huh?
So anyway, all right. So I just look at it and I say to myself, like, I was joking when Eric Gilbert left LSU and he was coming to Gainesville. I'm like, the same old line. He just needs a change of scenery. Bring him on. But then it was pretty dang obvious that this guy doesn't feel like attending class, feels like not doing the work, and feels like basically being taken care of. And there are a lot of kids like that have to be basically told that ain't going to fly, and then they figure it out. Is that not right, Leon?
I mean, you're right. I always say that there's two different guys that play ball, whether it be high school, whether it be professionally or big college. Those who love football and those who love the things that football bring. Mm-hmm. And you find that out real quick. You see the guys who just playing the game of sports for the simple fact they get perks, they get this and that. And then like a guy like the knucklehead that when you don't
Eric
get
Gilbert.
Eric Gilbert, when you don't get those perks, then you go pick up cinder blocks and you smash windows in. I mean, this guy's got his whole career in front of him. Going to Nebraska, got an NIL deal. I don't know how, whatever he was doing, he felt the need to take a cinder block and try to smash the store, which is sad. Which is very sad, to be quite honest with you.
All right,
and
so
it was on film, and I mean, he had a mask on top of his head. He didn't even try to pull the mask.
It wasn't even a
down.
mask. It was his shirt
was
wrapped around his head.
And there's like a
Exactly,
video
bro.
of him walking past the store like not too long before that and eyeing it up and down. It's just like, oh my God.
With no shirt over his head.
Yeah,
Right.
just like with him looking like a normal civilian. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, when he saw the cops and he knew he was caught, that was, oh my God.
That feeling
Didn't
in
even
his
try and
stomach.
run, just dropped everything, got down on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the smart thing.
Yeah, it's scary. It really is. That's for sure. So you got Nebraska with two things that are on your brain. And then speaking of that, I couldn't help but laugh. I saw the storyline that in Flushing Meadows, this U.S. Open, court 17 smells like marijuana. Smells like just reefer everywhere.
Court 420, if you ask me.
Yeah. And so they asked the question, they go, I don't know, there's something up at court 17 because they are having a blast over there. And then they mentioned there might be a park right outside of court 17.
Or probably people in the park.
Oh, yeah.
On court 17.
Yeah.
Probably better than what happened in Chicago where someone inadvertently fired a gun during a White Sox game.
Well, but you got to back up. You got to back it up.
Well, first
There's
off-
a lot more to it.
First off, let's put air quotes on that. Inadvertently.
No, you'll
Okay?
find out.
Exactly, because the woman,
This lady didn't know what she was doing.
she hid the gun in the folds of her fat.
Yes.
For lack of a better term.
To get it into the stadium.
How did she get through the metal detector?
Wait.
Because of the
Wait,
fat.
let's back up a little bit.
Yes. You heard that correct.
So then she knew she had a gun.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So there's nothing
Well, yeah, she was the
inadvertent
one
about
hiding.
shooting the gun.
No, I think that she tried to bring a gun into the stadium. I don't know why. I guess she needed to defend herself at the White Sox game. And to sneak it through the metal detectors, she put it under her fat
Her roll.
and her belly.
Yeah.
And so, like, when she probably, when the metal detector went off, she was probably like, oh, it's just my
pacemaker
belt or whatever. Oh, is that what she said?
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. It was technically, that's a metal thing inside of the body.
You ever seen Norbit?
Of course.
Was it like that?
Yes, like
Do
that.
you have on
Yes.
bottoms? Like, yeah, I got on bottoms.
Fun fact, that actually is a O'Brien family favorite movie, Leon.
Yeah, okay.
No, truly. My parents, we were big Eddie Murphy fans as kids.
Yeah.
And so they took all 6 of me, my brother, my sister, my cousins. My one cousin was 6 years old. Yeah, Nutty Professor, Daddy Daycare, and let us go to see Norbit at my little cousin was 5. I was the oldest, and I was in 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking that she had to be that big to store a gun underneath her fat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
she
not to
wasn't
be
a skinny
detected.
woman.
And by the way, the South Side getting a little bit of a bad rep because when I went there, I had a great time. I didn't feel like I had to at all, honestly.
I like that you can, take the train.
Yeah, the only thing
don't drive because it takes like 3 hours.
I just got to remind myself, buy your peanuts before you go in. For whatever reason, they don't sell them inside, which is just a mystery to me. But that's just the way it is.
Although I do like that they sell.
game?
Yeah, it's weird. They sell the water bottles though outside
and
too.
both of them.
You can bring those
both
inside.
Peanuts and water.
Yeah, that was
which
great.
It's just crazy. All right, so let's get it going. We want your predictions. If you want to hit the pop-off line, 207-7071. We've got plenty to get into. We'll bring up your Jaguars as well as they are getting ready to go into their final weekend before the season starts. We got a bunch of other NFL news that we will tear into. It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Prime Time in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Drink a beer, sing a song, make a friend. Can't we all get along?
Drink a beer, sing a song, can't we all get along?
This is great!
Exactly.
1010XL.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio. Celebrating their 30th year, our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is going big.
That's right, Austin. Sports bettors can win a new truck, get the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus, and even get up to 30 risk-free bets.
Touchdown! BetUS also has a 150% casino sign-up bonus.
Blackjack, now you're talking, Austin. They also have live dealers and live betting on sports, including racetrack.
Get started today at BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Introducing an exciting update from Duck-Duck-Rooter. We're thrilled to expand our services with the launch of Duck-Duck Air Conditioning. As a fully licensed mechanical contractor, our skilled team is equipped to handle any air conditioning and refrigeration project you have in mind. Contact Duck-Duck Air Conditioning today at 904-862-6769. That's 904-862-6769. Or visit us online at duckduckac.com. Duck-Duck Air Conditioning, your reliable partner in air conditioning and refrigeration services.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
This is Sheridan Tootin, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, and Dr. Kevin Murphy put my right shoulder back together a few years ago, and I'm still feeling great. Now I'm using PRP treatment for my knee pain. No matter what you're dealing with, if you're enduring any orthopedic issue, my only recommendation is Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist if you ever have a need.
Leave pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
For a high school football team, Friday night is the big reward. Hear the highlights from this week's game.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Brought to you by Duck-Duck-Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband-wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Electrical problems? Call American Electrical Contracting. 737-7770. Small jobs or large, they do them all. Work with a locally owned and operated company that will wire it right at a fair price. It's not just a slogan, it's the way they do business.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Prime Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
Great free agent signings come from doing your homework. Selecting a roofing contractor takes the same hard work. Preferred Roofing has a great track record and a Master Elite certification. A free agent you can trust and know you'll get your money's worth. And remember this, Preferred Roofing guarantees to educate their customers on such a big decision as replacing a roof. Let their consultants help you make an informed choice that you're sure to feel good about. Master Elite certified contractors, Preferred Roofing is who you need. Tell them Joe C. sent you.
You probably remember your first fender bender, but very few can tell the story of their crash with a semi-truck. That's because an 18-wheeler weighs over 20 times more than the average car. You might see it coming, but you probably won't remember much after impact. You need experience on your side. Our forensic crash reconstruction team and truck accident specialists know how to recover black box data and build a case that hits back hard. Your consultation is free. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Oakleaf people, the best wings in town are coming to you. Players Grill is expanding and opening soon in Orange Park. Watch your favorite teams and enjoy burgers, pizzas, salads, and more. Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
I-9 Sports, the way youth sports should be, and right now inviting parents to sign up for the fall and winter seasons. Registration open at i9sports.com, ages 3 and up, Duval, Clay, St. John's. Convenient for busy families. Enter promo code 1010 for a discount.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
This is Dr. Turner Vossler, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars' offense could take a significant jump this season with the addition of Calvin Ridley. ESPN's Dan Orlovsky, a guest of The Rich Eisen Show, spoke about what he thinks Ridley brings to the Jags' offense.
Calvin Ridley's going to remind everybody, why he was trending to top 5 wide receiver. If you watched their preseason game this past week, that he throws him a double move versus pressure, and Trevor throws the ball, and the defensive back is 5 yards behind Calvin Ridley. That's how much trust he has in him right now.
ESPN's Dan Orlovsky on The Rich Eisen Show. Jags kick off the season next Sunday at 1 o'clock at the Indianapolis Colts. Listen to the broadcast right here on 1010XL. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
This is Billy Napier, okay? The Florida Gators play a football game tonight, right? And we might even win it.
This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Was that our boy Bulky Pop offline?
I don't know, but I'm a fan.
Sure.
I don't even want to suggest it's the same individual. I'm going to suggest it's a
So
being.
now we have Billy Napier on the Pop offline.
I love it.
Do we want to plug the Pop offline, Josie?
Yeah, 207-7071, especially if you've got a good Billy in you. We would love to hear it. By the way, listening on the app right now, our Gators out in Salt Lake, I heard from one
I
of
thought
the,
you were going to say, is Billy Napier.
Yeah.
And he'd like to call in.
I've already
Shane
heard.
Matthews has it on the speakerphone right next to Billy.
I've already heard from Gator fans that are out there, and these are diehard 1010XLers, supporters of the Frangie Show. Lauren Nimnick-Dozier out there, and her husband Paul. Who knows who else is out there? But she shot a pic. She said the vodka that they have in Utah is named Five Wives. That's just beautiful.
Well, it's beautiful, but also it's probably like 0.2%, right? Because all the typical beers and vodka and alcohol you would normally get anywhere else in the country.
Apparently.
Oh, they did raise the ABV.
At least that's when we brought this up before. Someone said they got past the 3.2 on the beer.
Okay.
They finally raised it.
They also, by the way, got rid of the multiple wives thing about a century ago.
Did they?
Yeah.
No, you haven't seen Big
sure?
Love?
Yeah,
No,
anyway,
that's
Five
not-
Wives.
You
I
haven't
like
seen
that.
Big Love. You know that's a show, right?
But it's
JJ?
based on a true story, I'm sure. Or just
It's-
like
right. You can have it. It's not legal.
Yeah,
like
you
the
have
Mormon
Jersey-
church is not behind it. I guess
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Beverly Hills Housewives, Jersey Housewives, Atlanta, and they have
Big
Salt
Love.
Lake Housewives.
do they?
Yeah.
He goes to BYU grad, by the way.
Who is?
Kyle Whittingham.
Oh, I did not
Played on
know
the
that.
played on the '84 national championship team.
Well, you look at that.
Yeah, they've tried to get him too many times.
Did they make? Did they make? Did they make him walk to the
Not enough
stadium
wives.
and JJ just
Right.
goes back to the wives?
Yeah,
Go
they
back to the
tried
wives.
to convert him.
We are asking for your score predictions
You're
for
like-
tonight's Florida-Utah game on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Would also love, what are you whipping up? What are you cooking for tonight, knowing full well you have a full slate of college football on Saturday too? I mean, do you Gators, do you prioritize tonight's spread over
There's
Saturdays?
just so much
or?
good football. Like tonight, it'll be a wing night, and it'll be a cup night. So there'll be, some cold ones and some hot ones. But when we go into the weekend, you've got, honestly, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all good stuff. And did you say tonight, JJ, Nebraska and Minnesota are playing tonight?
Yeah, they're playing each other.
Yeah, and
8
yeah,
o'clock
exactly.
on
Yeah, they're
Fox.
playing.
So
So
if the Gators, get to a 28-3 lead at halftime,
Yeah.
which I
Or hold.
expect them to, then I'll probably switch over.
and the UCF part of this, the Knights are in action. So we'll be watching that one too. But
yeah, they're 35.5 point favorites.
So you got to we're going to pace ourselves because we're going to have the grill out, the fryer out,
Yes.
all this stuff.
I was just thinking that because the poundage that you can put on this
Yep.
weekend is
Oh
going to
my
be heavy
gosh.
with the
You know what
wings
else?
and the burgers and the fries and all that kind of stuff.
Technically,
and the
it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
I know, bro. The
Yeah.
poundage.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
And what I'm
the excess. of
I'm
food.
happiest about is that Hyla is making her flight because we didn't have that bad weather. So she'll be coming
Excellent.
in tomorrow night, and we'll have the whole weekend. So that'll be great. Coming in from Nash Vegas, so it'll be good.
Also, quickly, Braves Dodgers 4 games in a row.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
exactly.
That's also going on.
Yeah,
Thank goodness the PGA
start.
Tour wrapped up its calendar
Yeah.
year.
Oh,
Otherwise, forget about it. We'd be
Well-
we're already going to be glued to the couch. What does Leon say when
Nope.
you're indented into the sofa chair?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That'll be when you're 2 days eating and you put the baseball on and get a little nap.
Well, yeah, it doesn't
Right.
start till 10:15 at night.
Yeah, we'll
So
be
you
able to
great
flip over.
little nap
Not a lot
time.
of Pac-12 after dark this weekend, so you might as well indulge in that.
And our PGA Tour season did end for 2 weeks, and then a new season starts.
2 weeks.
Yeah, but it won't be a new season. It's a new formula now, okay? They now have these fall events as opposed to the wraparound schedule.
I
I'm all
ask
about
only
it,
because
though.
Bo Valentine is a Utah fan,
Mm-hmm.
so already by request we'll be firing up the grill tonight, but exploring different options for a crock pot recipe on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm leaning towards maybe doing like sausage or Italian beef because we're going to have rolls left
Mm-hmm.
over, so I'm exploring that, but also
I'm a
pulled-
sausage guy.
Thank you, Hack.
He'll
Pulled
give you a good
pork.
recipe.
I was actually going to I was also going to revert back to one that we did back in my senior year of college. The one day of the year besides Cortica that Ithaca becomes a D1 school is called Kendall Day, the big outdoor day drink, Leon. And my roommates and I did tater tots, chicken strips, cheese, bacon, and more of each piled high
In
in
a
the
bowl.
crock pot. No, in the crock pot.
Crock pot.
In the
Oh.
crock
I was going to
pot.
go check, check,
Mhm.
check, check.
How do you get those tater tots to hold up in the crock pot?
You don't. It just becomes one big casserole.
Just
I
comes
mean,
hash
I got
browns.
one for you. See, that's no. You got to put it in
Yeah,
the air
I want
fryer.
to see him set.
Do all of that in the air
I gotta
fryer.
have the crunch.
Yeah, me too.
I'm looking for the crunch. I'm looking for.
This
That's
was
what I'm
2015.
saying. Do it all in the air fryer.
This
You're
was
gonna get the crunch.
2015. We didn't have air fryers then, so that's
Yeah.
why I was thinking
Totally
about it.
different world.
Right. It's crazy to think the world we lived in.
I actually posted a photo of me at Florida State Miami from 2015 yesterday, and there was CDs on the table
Not only
by
that,
our tailgate
there was something
spot.
in your
I was
finger,
like,
too.
what? Yeah, cigarette.
Yeah, and he had a shirt on that said "Fire, I'll go with."
Yeah, I did. And we did.
You couldn't even see the whole shirt, but I could read. I
The
felt
best
his
was
sentiments.
the cigarette. You're so far gone from that cigarette.
Yeah,
cigarette
it's
taste
crazy,
now.
man.
That's
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Like they asked today, "Are you a smoker?" I don't check that anymore. Just say you never smoke, JJ.
Ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Never check that box ever.
It
And,
can't prove
JJ,
it.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Since you start, you actually look younger, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that picture of me yesterday, I looked
bro, you look
really
old,
young
man.
and fresh and hot.
No, you didn't.
I turned it to Blake. I'm like, look how sexy I used to be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So we talk about that game tonight. We talk about the other ones. I want to throw this at you all and see what you think. Is there a world where the college football playoff, the last year that there are 4 teams, that there will not be a team with a big conference next to its name in the college football
In the playoff?
In
You
the
mean like
college
a group of
football playoff.
5?
No way.
Well, it wouldn't
mean
be
like-
group
you mean
of
like
5,
Big 10, Big
just meaning
12?
Big 10, Big 12.
No way.
No way.
No way.
Okay, so who are you putting in there?
Well, one of those
Because
three from the
we
Big
have to-
Ten's getting in there.
We have to start naming our college football playoff. We have
we
to start
will.
naming our
We don't need to do it
NFL.
now though, because
Yeah.
Florida's not going to be part of that playoff, so we don't have to it's not like we're going to blow.
What
it.
about Utah?
Utah may.
No, Utah's
The Pac-12 is the conference of champions.
And they are
Yeah, they're not
defending.
going to be part of it. So we can do that tomorrow.
Yeah,
We can do that
I just figured. I thought, will there be a college
No,
football
Michigan,
playoff?
Ohio State, or Penn State's getting in. Maybe 2 of those 3. In the
You
Big
firmly
12,
believe that?
I do. In the Big 12, who knows, man? Texas, sure.
Well, let me just
Kansas
throw this
State,
out there.
Sure.
What if Alabama, Georgia, undefeated, go to the SEC championship game?
Wait, who's playing quarterback for Alabama again?
No.
Nick is playing quarterback
Me.
for Alabama.
Just checking, that's all.
Yeah. So let's just say 2 of those schools. You could even throw A&M instead of Alabama.
Or LSU.
You can throw LSU in there 100%.
Okay.
I would have no problem. Say LSU, Georgia. They're undefeated.
Right.
And then now if we do include LSU in this conversation, I'd have to say
They have 1 loss against Bama.
yeah, well, I'd have to say FSU and Clemson. One of them has 1 loss. The other one knocks the other one off in the championship game. So now they both have 1 loss.
Right.
You could see a world where at least one of them, if not both of them, at least one, if not both SEC schools, and maybe a Pac-12 school could make it in there. You could shut out the Big Ten. You could shut out the Big 12.
Wouldn't Michigan or Ohio State have to have 2 losses?
Yeah.
each?
Have you seen Michigan's schedule?
It's pretty soft.
The only chance they have of losing is Penn State, at Penn State.
Yeah, it's pretty soft. But look, anytime we start glossing all over any of these teams, then they have that letdown Saturday.
Sure. I mean, it's
You know
college
that.
football. Yeah,
you
of
know
course.
that. And so I just want to throw it out there. What kind of different versions of the college football playoff do you see? And will there be a scenario where you'll
So
have,
only teams from the South allowed? I'm down for that.
Yeah.
We
yeah,
should just
can
have
make it
our
a
own playoff.
Southern college football
Yes.
playoff, which is honestly
What it
it
is.
is most of the time because we let those other ones in and then we beat that butt because that's what happens.
Ohio State was pretty close last year. I'll give them that.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
Let's pivot to the Jags for a bit because we obviously did get some significant roster news this morning. The local boy, Cooper Hodges, as expected, placed on the short-term injured reserve. He would be eligible to return or at least return to practice week 5 of the NFL season. And then Devon Hamilton, the mystery continues. That non-football illness that was a back injury has now led to him being placed on the reserve injured list as well. He also would be eligible to return week 5, week 6 for that 21-day acclimation period. Leon, I mean, we were talking about in the pre-show meeting. We still don't know exactly what happened. What I can tell you is Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke will be meeting the media at 1:30 today, and so hopefully we'll get a little more clarification then. But for this to go from an NFI to a reserve injured list situation, what do you make of it?
Well, it being non-football related, I'm weary that it may be. So, listen, I don't want to speculate. I don't want to say anything, but it might be something that, family-wise, it's none of our business. To be quite honest with you. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of people saying in the media, and it's football, and we should know or whatever. I mean, we can speculate all we want, but I mean, something like this might be something that he just wants to keep between him and his family, and the Jaguars are okay with it. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's a back or not. I told you. A veteran told me a while back that injuries that's non-relatable to it is usually the back, and they can because there's no.
It's
real,
hard for them to prove that you're being full of BS if you just say, "Hey, my
just
back
is hurt." So I mean, listen, and it may be something family-wise they want to keep it within the family, and the Jaguars understand it, and it's non-football related, and it's none of our business.
Yeah. Any number of things.
It could
be.
Yeah.
And it could be.
And the stuff that pops up in your mind you don't want to say.
You can go GI, gastrointestinal. You could go spinal cord. You could go nerves. You could. I mean, there's so many different things that you could say. You're right, and they have been specific.
So many.
And it's not like because like the discussion was on Jaguars Today earlier, and I totally agree with what Mike and Tony and D-Rock were all talking about, that they gave him a contract extension this offseason, to which some of us went, huh? What? Anyway, they felt like he was a developing player, and they wanted to reward him with a contract. So they did that. And so then when they keep stating it's a non-football injury, it happened before he got here, you're like, well, wait a minute. Are they trying to stiff-arm him a little bit, maybe keep him from not getting his pay? Well, if you put him on that other designation, he would be eligible to not be paid. They put him on injured reserve or reserve injured to come back, so they are paying him. So that's a good, classy move on the team's part, but it still doesn't tell us anymore about
the Jaguars, they know what it is, and he knows what it is, and they're keeping it private, and that's the gist of it.
Yeah. Would you be surprised if we didn't see him at all this year?
I would be
I'm going to say
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I expect him after week 4 is what I'm hoping.
I mean, Doug said last week that he was positive. He was optimistic there was a chance he could have been ready week 1 or week 2. We've already seen this medical staff be precautionary with Ben Barch's return to the playing field, Ventrell Miller, that rehab, and then obviously, unfortunately, now another setback with the season-ending injury. And so I think they err on the side of caution. I don't think they wanted to rush him back, and I think they like what they have with Jeremiah Ledbetter and Adam Gotsis if they need to for those first 4 weeks. Whether that proves to come to fruition or not, we'll see if that actually happens, that those two can be adequate replacements for Devon Hamilton, and then they take the safe route with him. But don't forget, it was only last Thursday that Doug Peterson said, hey, we got good news. He's trending in the right direction. He'll be in the building next week, and then we know he was in the building on Monday. So, again.
Didn't he leave that game in Detroit on crutches? Isn't that right?
That is what, there was only one reporter there, and that one reporter said that he saw him on crutches. Yes.
You trust this reporter?
Oh, yeah.
That depends on the day of the week.
Yeah. But he's got a good set of eyes.
Depends on what's on the air on 1010 versus some other people
exactly.
at that
And
time.
it's not embellishing at all.
All right, so he left the field on crutches.
Yeah, and do we remember if we saw him on the field? Because I don't.
No, I went back and watched the game. No, he didn't play.
No, I know that. I'm talking about
I
on the
went back
sideline.
and I watched the game and looked for him on the sideline, and I didn't see him.
Because I didn't see him either.
I went back and looked because I was, very curious.
Yeah.
But, again, what I can report is that I talked to people who were on the plane ride back and said, well, this other reporter said this, and they were like, he's still complaining about his back. I don't know what it is. And it was just, his back. It's always his back. Well, clearly there's something else at play.
Well, yeah, and like Leon said, the depth of the injury, the seriousness of it, we don't know, and you got to respect. If it is private, respect his privacy.
Yeah, you have to.
Right.
Yeah. And people said that a couple of days ago, his wife came down and was involved in that.
Yeah, brought him
when
in.
the missus come down, it's some serious business.
I feel that way. As soon as I heard that, I mean,
I'm just saying.
Well, why is the missus coming down?
I don't know. That's between the Hamilton family. That's between
all right.
them. I know what do you think why the missus came down? Maybe
I don't know. That's what I was asking.
No.
That's why I was asking. What do you mean, JJ? That's why I was asking Leon.
No, Leon and I
tread lightly.
Leon and I,
Be respectful.
Correct. There's a lot of people that want to poke fun and, if the missus, Leon and I are on the same page in terms of if the missus is there, it's probably something more serious.
That's why I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come back this year, because if it is some illness and not an injury, then that could be, we all know what that could be.
When someone else shows up, that's a support staff right there.
Yes,
that's someone saying, hey,
like mentally supporting me.
I'm bringing you in, or I got to drive you here, or whatever, but that's
emotionally my
staff.
support person.
Yeah.
Right. Which, again, and then on the flip side of that, Doug said that there was a chance he could have been ready week 1 or week 2. So
yeah, that was exactly.
Right. So we hopefully will know more 1:30. As far as I know, the Jags will be live streaming that press conference at 1:30. I'll be headed down to the bank in just a little bit for it. And so hopefully we get more clarification on that. In a corresponding move, the Jags did re-sign Blake Hance after placing, again, Cooper Hodges on that reserved IR, and he is expected to return at some point in October, at which point the Jags will have a decision to make.
Yeah, I do like how they flip IR to reserve injured. I think that's fancy because it does detail that they can come back, which is cool. But Blake Hance was the guy that I had making it because of those injuries, and this is at least working out the way you were forecasting.
Right. It's the Gotsis rule. He's a vested veteran, and so this way you were able to cut him, bring him right back, because unless he wanted to go sign with somebody else, but they said literally, it's a hurricane tomorrow, just like take the day off, like you're going to be back on Thursday in the building. And so it was all part of the plan, because if you had waived a Cole Van Lannon instead, he would have been subject to waivers, and while I don't think he would have been claimed, you don't really want to play that game. The other name that they signed, Angelo Blackson, veteran defensive lineman, has been in the league since 2015, has played in 117 career games, spent some time in Arizona in 2020 as the nose tackle. Who was the defensive line coach back then?
One of your buddies.
Brenson Buckner.
Yeah.
Currently,
so you can tie the two together.
Currently the defensive line coach for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Very familiar with the AFC South. Spent 2 seasons with the Titans, his first 2 seasons, then 3 years with Houston. Again, the Jaguars recognizing perhaps that, hey, well, we know we're at least without Devon for 4 games. And so they go out, they sign a guy to their active roster along the defensive front, and they also added 2 names to the practice squad as well, who have also had experience in the league.
Yeah. I mean, you want space eaters. I mean, you want rotational guys, especially with Devon Hamilton, the uncertainty of him. We know at least for 4 games he's going to be out of it. So, I mean, you're going to have guys, Gossett, Ledbetter, this guy right here come in, can play the 1, can play the 3. Be a nice little rotation guy. Listen, you need space eaters.
Yeah, and we're going to find out whether any of these other guys have an opportunity to rotate in, what they will do in terms of working Trayvon inside. Definitely not playing that position because that's the big man position. But back to Blackson, War Eagle, by the way, and Albie Tiger, 117 games he's played in and has a total of 98 tackles, 15 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks. So he's played games, 27 quarterbacks. So I don't know whether the guy's going to be an impact player or not. But I know last year we've mentioned Corey Peters and some of the other guys that showed up. They made plays, and that's really what it comes down to.
Which Corey Peters, again, retired this offseason after that one season with Jacksonville in which he was initially signed to the practice squad. He finished his career with 55 tackles for loss, 19 sacks. So a bit more lofty, but also had quite a few more years than Angelo in the league. And Corey Peters, for what it's worth, is currently an intern on the Jaguars coaching staff.
That's beautiful.
So he is here in Duval.
Pat him up.
Yep.
I mean,
player coach.
He also played for Buck in the desert.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Ledbetter as well.
Yeah.
So you start seeing the correlation of and that's where I think the Trevis Gibson point of, well, Bill Shuey coached him and he had 8 sacks that year. Maybe the Jags would bring him in. Unfortunately, he comes to the AFC South, but he's headed to Nash Vegas.
Yeah, and everyone's looking. This is the thing we always talk about. You make your 53, and who was it, the Bears that made that decision to let him go, that you just basically are looking around, and if you have good eval, good scouting, you punch that tape in, and you're like, okay, we need to go get this guy, and especially if your numbers are such that you need to add a player.
It is curious that the Jags go out and they sign 1 player to their active roster and then 2 to the practice squad, who are those space eaters, interior defensive front guys. And they have not claimed, they have not traded for, they have not signed an edge rusher. Kayvon Chason reportedly not at practice again today. The assumption, and again, we will get confirmation from Doug Peterson in about 45 minutes, is that he is still experiencing knee tendonitis, but second day this week that he is not on the practice field.
Probably deserves a veteran to stay off.
Guy's a baller.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. But I
stay off.
I don't know what to say. I didn't have him. I thought that this was the end of the road for him, and it doesn't mean that he still can't be an impact player. He's been called the third. He is their third pass rusher. That's how he was described by the head coach. And so you just have to get to a point where he's going to get plenty of snaps. And then you're going to find out whether or not he can do it. But as we have said it, and Coach Campos described it better than most of us because he is a coach, but I firmly believe it's scheme and personnel that Mike Caldwell's going to play with. He's going to try everything he possibly can.
He's going to have to. He's going to have to. I mean, he knows what he has right now, especially when it comes to pass rushing. I mean, he's got 11 sacks from his core sack total, his guys that he depended on to get after the core. He has 11 sacks. I mean, so he's going to have to orchestrate some games, some stunts, some dogs, some cross dogs, some corner safety blitzes.
They'll be fine, Leon. Don't worry about it.
We'll see. We'll see how we got. He's going to have to be like a conductor and an orchestra. He's going to have to make sure to put those guys in place to make plays.
Which we know that this defense hit that mid-season lull after pretty much racing out of the gate the first 3-4 games of the season, and then they hit that lull, and plenty of people on this station and this program were calling for Mike Caldwell's job. And so now he's going to be asked more than ever that it's on him. It's on the scheme. Because if you don't have guys, I mean, you tell me, do they have guys right now on that defense that can win one-on-one? Mano.
They should, but they don't. Especially the number 7 pick overall. This guy he's built to be a phenom, but he lacks the luster of being one. But he has the size, he has the speed, he has the mobility. He was a terror at Kentucky, but for some reason he gets in the league outside of his rookie year. I mean, he's been subtle.
There's no getting away from the guys that have to make plays. Number 1 overall pick, got to make plays. Got to show that he can develop, and then obviously in a contract year is what Josh Allen is in. He's got to make sure that he makes plays.
Yeah.
We'll find out where it goes. But I still believe, and I'll just keep saying it, when you play with the lead, you will get to the quarterback. And I do think this football team will play with the lead quite a bit. Who led the league in blitzes last year, called blitzes? It was the New York Giants. And so they were manufacturing
Wink
stuff.
Martindale.
Yeah, manufacturing stuff. And so, obviously, they turned themselves into a playoff team. They're hoping for more this year with Danny Dimes, the money they paid him. But if you can manufacture it and get to a point where you're playing with the lead, then this team's obviously has a chance.
How many sacks did Thibodeau have last year? It was like 3.5, something like that.
5.5.
It was a low number.
Yeah. But it wasn't a terrible number.
But he was high in pressures.
Okay. Yeah.
So there it is.
Because I'm thinking he had like 5 sacks.
He had 4.
Okay.
So,
he didn't play in more than half the game.
He played in 14.
Oh, damn.
So take that, haters.
Yeah, maybe not started. Maybe is what you're thinking, JJ. The one we remember is him doing snow angels right next to a hurt quarterback and Nick Foles.
I forgot about that.
Remember that?
Oh my God, how disrespectful!
Speaking of trash talking in the New York Giants, anybody watch Hard Knocks this week, Leon? Did you watch?
Saw clips. That was it.
I saw Jihad Ward.
Yep, old hottie, old friend alert out here saying to Aaron Rodgers, "Who even are you?"
Well, Aaron Rodgers said that to him.
Yeah, and then he yelled something back to him.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers
said that to him.
Aaron Rodgers goes, I don't even know who you are.
God,
it was amazing.
And Jacksonville still doesn't know who he was.
Is there anything that cuts you to the core more than that?
Yeah. Oh, it's
who are you?
Well, and then Aaron Rodgers goes back to the sideline, and he's like, because he was very proud of himself for saying that, so he's telling all his teammates, yeah, I told him, I don't even know who you are. And then he goes back to me, I don't know who you are. And I go, BS.
Yeah, well, the jerk store called, and they're running out of you.
Yeah. Well, I'm always looking for good comebacks when Aaron Rodgers. I would have called him Grandpa. If I was a grandpa, I used to watch you when I was little. Yeah. Something like that.
Exactly. Hit him with something like that.
You got to hit him with something.
I remember when you were good.
Yeah. That part. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, you're heading down to the bank.
Yes, headed down to the stadium again, 1:30. We will confirm, but I'm pretty sure that it'll be streamed on YouTube and Twitter and all that good stuff on the Jag social channels.
All right, cool. Yeah, you can definitely check that out. There'll be stuff coming out information-wise.
Just keep it on 1010. Me, Hayes, we'll have you covered. Just follow 1010 on all the social media. We'll make sure that you guys are ready to go.
All right, so do us a favor. You can hit the pop-off line if you want to make a prediction, 207-7071 for tonight's game. You want to talk FSU, LSU, you can do the same thing. But then also, if you want to text us, that key to the game that you see tonight, if Florida's going to win or if Utah's going to beat them, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. It's XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. 1010XL is your home for play-by-play on Bishop Kenny football.
I'm Coach Kraus of the Bishop Kenny Crusaders. Our first road game is this Friday night at Middleburg. You can catch all the action on 92.5 FM.
This Labor Day, take a day off from work and put your money to work for you when you shop with my friends at Arlington Toyota. Mia here, and Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned has an unbeatable inventory of over 500 used vehicles all in one place. I'm talking cars under $18K, over 200 SUVs. Need a pickup truck? They have over 100 just waiting for you at Arlington Pre-Owned. But what if you really want a new ride and you're really worried about your credit? Don't be. At Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, $500 down gets almost everyone approved. And just in time for Labor Day, you can drive now with no payments until January 2024. That's right, $500 down, no payments until January 2024. And don't forget Arlington's 30-day exchange program. 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it for one that you do. With over 500 used vehicles, friendly credit approval, no payments until January 2024, and a 30-day exchange, I gotta ask, why would you go anywhere else? 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Mia here. Football is back, and so is winning season at MyBookie. Look, if you're anywhere near as fired up as we are this season, you've got to get a bet in on the action. NFL, college football, and a brand new cash-out system. MyBookie gives you options to bet and win all season long. First 2 legs of your parlay hit, cash out early and use the funds on another bet, or let it ride for the chance at a bigger payday. To get started, go to mybookie.ag now and register for an account for free. When you're ready to make your first deposit, just use promo code 1010XL to grab a welcome bonus on the house. You could still even bet on futures like win totals and Super Bowl winners. Maybe even one on the Jags? So sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus and, for a limited time, a free chip to use in the MyBookie casino. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Active and pain-free. That's the ticket. Dr. George Barry here, and I know that's the goal of every patient I see. They want the best possible care so they can go back to enjoying life. That could be pickup basketball, golf, tennis, running, or just working out. It all requires you to be as healthy as you can be. If joint pain is taking its toll on your active lifestyle, come see me at Barry Orthopedics. We have locations all over Jacksonville and can diagnose and treat even the most severe joint pain. A homegrown Jacksonville practice. Find out more at barryorthopedics.com.
It's storm season, and JEA is committed to keeping you informed. In the event of a storm, we'll text and email you about the status of your services. We use Facebook and Twitter to post real-time updates. Our live outage map on JEA.com lets you track restoration progress. And as crews work to restore services, our storm outreach team will be in local neighborhoods to answer your questions. Because as your community-owned utility, JEA is here to keep you safe and connected. Your community, your utility.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous, don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
This is Corona Premier. It's the light beer you didn't know was a light beer. Until right. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now, Corona Premier, an unexpectedly light beer.
What airline is now allowing their male pilots to wear makeup, paint their nails, and carry handbags?
When you call Southern Oak and file a claim, you'll be handled by our hand-picked vendors who will analyze any roof, storm, or water damage. It'll save money for you.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
British Airways has introduced new uniform policies, allowing their male pilots to wear makeup, paint their nails, and carry a purse.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Florida fans, at long last, kickoff is here. Tonight, the Gators kick off the 2023 college football season at number 14, Utah. A major storyline going into this game tonight. Utah starting quarterback Cam Rising is not expected to play. He is still recovering from a torn ACL that he suffered in January. The Utes are expected to start junior quarterback Bryson Barnes tonight against Florida. Gators head coach Billy Napier on the preparations for who they will see at quarterback for Utah.
We're preparing for all of the above, is what I would say. And I do think they have very capable players.
Our pregame coverage of Florida at Utah begins at 5 o'clock on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. It's right now 90 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Well, they'll be playing that in some of those Hogtown bars tonight. Gainesville will be hopping. Will they back down or will they bust on through? The man with the answers on the Utes side of this is the play-by-play man, an old Duvaller, and Bill Riley, who joins us now on XL Primetime. Bill, welcome in. How are you, man?
Boys, happy game day. Welcome to Christmas in college football. I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Oh, you better believe it. and, you know, someone's unwrapping some coal. Someone's going to unwrap some candy tonight. All right, so $1 million question, Bill Riley, voice of the Utes. Just give us your best guess, intel, however you want to go with it, on Cam Rising, the health of him, and how they're going to play the quarterback position.
My guess is tonight, because Kyle Whittingham is a good friend of the head ball coach, Steve Spurrier. They're very tight. Mm-hmm. He's going to go back to 1997 and shuttle 3 quarterbacks in and out all day long and use Jeremiah Jaquindon Jackson as his Fred Taylor. He's going to shuttle them in and out just like the ball coach did with Johnson, Palmer, and Brandeis.
Seriously.
Fat Dog and Jesse.
He might shuttle at least 2, right?
Yeah, well, I don't think he's going to shuttle them. My best guess is, since we haven't heard anything, is I'm going under the impression that we're going to see probably Bryson Barnes and the 4-star redshirt freshman Nate Johnson tonight. I talked to Cam the other day. He comes on my show, and we do a little NIL conversation every week, and he hadn't been cleared at that point in time, and because I haven't heard anything different. I'm just going to now. Maybe he pulls he runs out of the tunnel and everybody goes crazy at 6:00 tonight Mountain Time. But
right.
I'm going to go under the auspice that we're probably going to see Bryson Barnes and Nate Johnson tonight. Heavy dose of run game for Utah. Nasty defense, and hopefully they tackle a little bit better than they did in the Swamp last year.
So that's literally 2 teams playing exactly like each other. All right, real quick, Brant Keithy, will he play?
Don't think so. Again, they're just not talking about it. I think Keithy's probably a couple of weeks away would be my guess. So you'll see the Australian kid, Yasmin. You'll see a kid from Auburn transfer named Landon King, who they like an awful lot. Not quite there yet. And then a kid that moved from defensive end to tight end in the offseason named Mickey Sugacharaga. So, but Yasmin will be the primary tight end for Utah tonight, assuming Keithy doesn't pull it. Assuming Keithy and Rising don't run out hand in hand through the tunnel tonight.
Yeah, Bill, you know, being a former Hurricane, I'm really ready to sue you for copyright infringement, throwing up the U. I'm a little concerned.
Double U.
Yeah, you know, we got to make sure that we keep the balance of power in place.
Hey, Leon, how you enjoying the Mario Cristobal era so far?
Not so much. Not so much, Bill. Thanks for asking.
All right,
Utah enjoyed it quite a bit. So
yeah. So if you're looking at the dynamics of this, and we said it here, Bill, we're talking with Bill Riley. He used to be on the ball way back in the day here in Duval. He's been out in Utah for a long time and is the voice of the Utes. The worst case scenario is Florida faces a team that is very limited, and you could even argue they've gone to their third and fourth string quarterbacks, and they lose this game. How bad would that play? And is Kyle Whittingham going to have something, tucked under his sleeve, some magic to kind of motivate his team to make sure that happens?
Well, I don't think Joe. I don't think he needs any magic because this injury didn't happen in fall camp. Okay. Right. This injury happened almost 8 months ago in the second quarter against Penn State in the Rose Bowl. They've been going through fall camp. While Cam's been participating in everything, they've known this is a possibility the whole way. Mm-hmm. So this hasn't just creeped up on them in the last 48 hours, last week or so. So they've been preparing for this. Barnes has been in the system. Remember a year ago, and I'm not comparing Florida to Wazoo, but he got 45 minutes notice on the road at Washington State last year and beat Washington State, who had, I think, the same record Florida did last year. I think they were 6-7, somewhere in that neighborhood. So he's got some experience. Here's the thing I'll say. This is the most talented team 1 through 85 that Kyle has had. The depth of talent on this team is really, really good. It's the best offensive line that they've had since 2015 when they had Garrett Bowles, who starts for the Broncos now, Isaac Asiata and that crew. Super deep running back room with a kid from Lakeland, Jalen Glover, who will get a bunch of carries tonight. And actually, they've got more weapons in the wide receiver room than they've had. But more than anything else, and I picked Utah to win the league this year in three-peat because their defense. Morgan Scalley played for Ron McBride, Urban Meyer, Kyle Whittingham. He's been the coordinator for a decade. Said that he thinks this is the best defense he's coached, and he's coached some good defenses here. So I don't know that they're going. I mean, it's going to be different. You don't have your starting quarterback; it's going to be different. And Florida's talented, and they've got SEC athletes and all that stuff. But I think Utah's got enough talent around the program, and they've had time to plan for this and prepare for this, that they can come up with a game plan that will allow them to get a W tonight. I'm not calling a W right now. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I think there's enough talent in this program, and they're far enough along. And you guys know, Leon, you know, from the days in Miami, when you have a DNA of winning and winning championships, that permeates through a locker room. These guys are used to winning. They've been to 4 consecutive conference championship games and won the last 2. So there's a mentality in the program already that no matter who our quarterback is, whoever our defensive end or left tackle is, whatever it might be, we're okay, we're going to win. And they're at home tonight. They're not in Gainesville.
Yeah, Bill, you're absolutely right. When I was at Miami, the strength of our team was our defense. You was just talking about your defense. The fact that they're bringing all these guys back is probably the strength of the team. So if I'm Utah, I cut the head off the snake. Right now Florida wants to run the ball, the uncertainty of Graham Mertz. I mean, I will put the game in his hands and see what he can do with it. I mean, do you see it that same way?
Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing. Last year, Anthony Richardson beat Utah, but he really didn't do it with his arm. He made that great play on the 2-point conversion, but he beat him with his legs last year. And so did ATN and so did Johnson. Utah missed 29 tackles in that game. Why do I know that? Because they've repeated that number for the last 3.5 weeks through fall camp. Every time we've talked to the coordinator or anybody on defense, they've talked about the number of tackles they missed in that game. Some of it was bad technique, bad angles. Some of it was just great athleticism by Richardson and Johnson and ATN. So you're right, Leon. They want to stop those 2 backs and make Graham Mertz try to beat them tonight.
Yeah, wait till they get a load of the Mertzonator running the ball, Billy. Okay, don't you forget, man. Don't you forget. Listen, if you're not happy with the new Florida play-by-play guy, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you're not, we all know why you wouldn't be. Get the TuneIn app. Get the TuneIn app. Listen to Bill O'Reilly. Mm-hmm. My man, Bill O'Reilly. He crushes it. I listen to Bill all the time, late night on those Pac-12 After Dark games. Love it, love it, love it. Billy, Utah and Florida, both clearly, like I said, that's going to be mirror images of each other. This is going to come down to turnovers. Who turns the ball over? Who protects the ball? I've been saying all week, if Florida doesn't turn the ball over and they run the ball with some semblance of success, get the game to the fourth quarter, they could win it. Utah, like you said, they just want to play bully ball, right?
Yeah, Kyle Whittingham, you know this, man. You've covered this long. You've covered the early Kyle teams. Before they started getting good quarterback play in recent years, they always put it on the defense and the special teams, and they would just run the crap out of the football. You know, they turn and hand it off to a back 30 times a game. He's just going to take a page out of the old playbook here and roll up the sleeves and try and play physical football. They love their offensive line. They love their defensive line an awful lot, and they're going to put it there. They're not going to make Bryson Barnes try to do what Cam Rising does. He's a competent quarterback. He's a good kid. He's, hell, he stepped into the Rose Bowl and threw a touchdown against Ohio State 2 plays in a couple of years ago. He's not going to be shy away from the moment, but yeah, Kyle wants to get back to his roots and play a little bully ball and physical football tonight because he's got the tools to do it.
Right.
They'd probably do a lot of that anyway, even if Rising was playing. They're just going to do more of it tonight. And I agree with you, Matt. And I said that yesterday on my show when I was giving my game keys. If Utah plays a clean game, meaning they don't cough it up, they don't get stopped 3 times on the goal line, I think they're going to win at home.
Yeah, I agree.
But if you give Florida a couple of short fields, then a little doubt creeps in and your offense isn't moving the way it was under Cam Rising, that's where the game gets a little bit tight for Utah tonight.
And that's a couple more for Bill Riley, voice of the Utah Utes at ESPN 700, Bill. And that's where I'm trying to figure this out, Bill. If they do run, grind it out, slow the clock down, that will limit Austin Armstrong's defensive approach, I would think, in sending the house, because that's what I initially thought that was going to be one of the keys for Florida. So agree or disagree that will kind of take that out of Florida's playbook a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll be able to send the house at times. There'll be times where Barnes is going to have to drop back and pass, and they're going to test. They're going to test. Utah's starting a true freshman at left tackle tonight. He's a freshman All-American, 5-star kid named Spencer Fano, but he's making his first start tonight. So I wouldn't be surprised if Austin Armstrong doesn't probably try to test Spencer Fano a little bit early. Wouldn't you agree, Leon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bill, test that left tackle, see what he's got.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's a new guy playing the left tackle position, 5-star freshman, left tackle. Oh, yeah. I mean, you definitely, the games, the stunts, the blitzes, all that kind of stuff, you got to test the water and see what the kid got. Absolutely.
All right, Bill.
But I'm anxious to see what Armstrong brings defensively. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. The last 2 years, Florida's defense has been historically bad, right?
Last 3.
Checkaroo, Bill. Checkaroo.
Like worst in the history of the
like
program.
historically bad. Yeah. Terrible.
So we'll see what Armstrong brings tonight. Do you guys feel like they've upgraded a bunch on the defensive side or improved just maybe a little bit?
I think they have better players, but they're younger players.
Okay.
That's going to be the key. And you're going to get mistakes from them. There's no doubt about it. But how bad are the mistakes? But they're better than the guys they had last year. There's no doubt about that. Hey, the stadium, the atmosphere. Explain to everybody here who I think really doesn't get it.
We're snobs.
The best way I can explain it is it's a lot like Autzen Stadium there at Oregon. It's like 50,000 people, and they're right on you, and it's loud as hell, and they're into it.
It's even a little bit bigger now. They added a south end zone, suites and premium seating. They've closed it in. It's one of the best atmospheres in the Western United States. It's Utah, it's Oregon, it's Washington are the 3 best, crowd game day atmospheres. They've been tailgating since 6 o'clock this morning. I've actually seen a lot of Gator fans walking around town. Saw them up on campus today, and
nice.
I think they're partaking a little bit in it today. No, it's a great atmosphere. It's not 80,000, 90,000, 100,000, but it is loud. And it's as loud as you're going to get at 52, 53,000. The atmosphere will be phenomenal. And I think Gator fans are going to come away impressed. I do, because Utah's created something here over the last 10 or 15 years that's really something to be proud of here. And really, I say it's not a national name, or it's not a national program. There's only a handful of those, but Kyle Whittingham's made this a bit of a national name. And I think that they've got a real chance to make some history this year, but they can't get off to a slow start. Yeah. They can't do what they did in the swamp last year and kind of get in their own way. So we'll see what happens. But I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game, guys. I think it'll be one of those kind of ugly slugfest type of games, but probably be in the low 20s to teens, something like that. But I think it'll be a competitive game tonight.
Under 44 is what Bill Riley just said without saying it. Okay. That's what he just said without saying.
Just bang it. Yes.
All right, listen, man. I love the fact that you're right. They party hardy in Salt Lake compared to Provo. So Gator fans, definitely enjoy your trip over there. That is for sure. Listen, man, we appreciate it. At ESPN 700 Bill, you can definitely check him out over in Salt Lake and enjoy the game tonight.
Thank you, boys. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks,
all right.
Billy.
And he's right in terms of depth, in terms of just a well-managed football team, Leon. Kyle Whittingham he's not going to leave too many things to chance. He's going to be as prepared as they come.
Oh, he's going to be solid for this game. I mean, Bill was just talking about all the returning starters that they have coming back. I mean, as much as you don't want to say this is a revenge game, but a lot of those guys remember, if you miss 29 tackles in one game, that's a lot of tackles in one game. So, I mean, there had to be a defensive emphasis all spring against Florida. Hey, listen, we tackled this team. They don't have Anthony Richardson. They got Graham Mertz.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to stop. We're going to cut the head off the snake, stop the run, stop the offensive line, make Graham Mertz beat us. I think it's going to be a slugfest. I'm thinking that the game's going to be under 40.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Florida's going to go max stuff. They're going to go double tight end stuff. But when they do that, they're literally inviting Utah to go 9 in the box, 8 in the box. They'll go as many as 9. They'll do everything they can. They'll leave everybody on man coverage and just say beat us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And either Mertz has to beat him, or they've got to figure out a way to block, 7-on-8 or whatever it's going to be.
But you're going to get, if you're Florida and Mertz, 1-2 big play passes here or there.
Loosen it up a little bit.
Yeah,
or
Eugene Wilson's been a nice surprise, and Eugene's been those guys.
Or you can go 3 and 4 wide, and then they have to cover them.
Exactly.
So then you're in a situation where, it lessens your chances of running the ball.
Then but you do open up some runway.
You open up a little space, yeah.
All right, we'll keep it going. You guys can hit some keys if you want, 641-1010. Hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures, or head to YouTube, 1010XL. All you have to do is search on YouTube, and you can hang out with us there. It's XL Primetime.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. There are moments in every life when we're faced with a choice that could change everything.
He's going for it.
Great, glorious day.
Choose 1010XL.
Introducing an exciting update from Duck.Rooter. They are thrilled to expand on their already long line of home and business services with the launch of Duck Air Conditioning. As a licensed mechanical contractor, the skilled Duck Air Conditioning team is equipped to handle any HVAC and refrigeration project you can throw at them. Folks, it is hot outside, and there is no reason you should be hot inside. Contact Duck Air Conditioning today at 904-862-6769 or online at duckac.com. Duck Air Conditioning is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio, celebrating their 30th year. Our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host, and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
Craving a night out? Elevate your evenings at Players Grill. Sip on handcrafted cocktails and groove to live beats. Players Grill, where every moment is a toast to life. Join us tonight at Miramar or Mandarin. Players Grill, where the neighborhood meets.
The Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is now offering online scheduling for new patient appointments for all of their physicians. Simply schedule your appointment on your cell phone, tablet, or desktop. JOI is the first orthopedic practice in North Florida to offer this feature to patients. To schedule your appointment online, visit joi.net and click on the button at the top of the page. If you'll be using insurance, be sure and have your information handy. JOI, where the pros go.
I'm with Greg Mackey from Cycles of Jacksonville, and even though you're the place to go for fun, you're also a place to go for generators, and right now with a storm coming, people need generators.
And the Honda lineup is amazing. They make the super quiet model, inverter technology, the electricity's super clean. You can have conversations with them. You can back up your whole house with a Honda generator. So we have them in stock, and we're ready to ride.
So you have generators big enough that could run everything in the house?
Absolutely.
Check it out, Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency for generators.
College football is coming. Celebrating another season of college football.
This should be fun to watch.
College football kickoff week on 1010XL is brought to you by
QC Kinetics.
Let the games begin.
Let's do it. Come on.
Rejoice! Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey, folks, you know you want shark coatings, and the time is now. So close your eyes and let's imagine your garage. Wait, if you're driving, please don't close your eyes. Just wait till you get home. The rest of you see those cracks, the stains? It looks dark, dull, and dreary. It's nothing you're proud of. It's your house junk drawer. Now, see your floor with shark coatings. It's bright, it's durable, it's fresh. Since it's non-porous, it will be so much easier to clean. Don't imagine your garage, driveway, porch, or pool deck this way. Get with shark coatings and have a brand new space with new possibilities.
Baloo here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
This is Keith Catlin for Catlin Truck Accessories, and we are so blessed to be in business for over 100 years. Over 100 years of the best products and customer service means you can count on Catlin. From Roll-and Lock bed covers to Lear toppers to cam locker toolboxes, Catlin Truck Accessories has you covered when it comes to your truck or van. We do those too. Got a fleet of vehicles? We can outfit them all.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
One name, one location, 100 years. You can count on Catlin.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Tailgating's so much easier when you plan ahead, and that means a call to your nearby Woody's Barbecue. Ribs, chicken, pork, and turkey, all cooked low and slow for this weekend's games.
At Woody's Barbecue, it's what we do. Let's eat. 1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
25 minutes after the 1 o'clock hour, XL Prime Time. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Surse, JJ LaSelva, Mia O'Brien headed down to the stadium, so she'll see, or you will see, some of her social coming out of the bank as far as what's happening with the injured reserve. Devon Hamilton's been placed on the reserved injured list, and they're hoping that he'll be able to come back. And more than anything else, I think Jaguar fans are hoping they get a little intel on what the injury is and just how significant it could be or how long he could be out. But we do not know. It is a guessing game. Now, speaking of guessing, as we hang up the phone with Bill Riley, that Florida-Utah line has now moved to 5. Now, we are going to begin our picks, our 6-pack of picks. And Coach Campo is now, he's one of us. And so on Friday, we're going to make our picks, and Coach is going to make them as well.
I love that.
It'll be a 6-pack of picks from 6 of us. And so we have to make the first one today, which will be that Florida game. And, JJ, you are using the line of 5 points, right?
Yeah, I'm on my bookie right now, and that's what it has.
Okay, so read this, Mr.
And by the way, if you take the Gators, you get plus 166.
Okay, all right. I was just going to ask you because if you did money line on the one I'm looking at, plus 183. Now,
I feel like I'm getting screwed over
Yeah,
there.
exactly. What does that tell you, though? What does that tell a gambler when it is a bigger number like that? Now,
what do you mean?
Well, plus 183 versus plus 166, there's a little bit of a gap there.
Well, that's why you shop books.
Exactly.
I mean, like that's not to get into the nitty-gritty, but that's why we don't have gambling in Florida legally, because the Seminole tribe owns all right to gambling. So they were the only ones who had a casino sportsbook website, and
they
they
hold it
ran it
down.
for a couple weeks, and then some federal judge was like, no, there has to be competition.
Yeah.
So when this is eventually made legal, hopefully we'll be able to go to different sites and be like, hey, that one's only giving me plus 166. Why would I take that?
And by the way, a money line is encouraging you with those types of numbers, better than 150, better than 135. You see a lot of different ones. Like sometimes you can see a money line only like plus 110, 120 because they think there's a fairly reasonable chance that team that is the dog is going to win.
So a plus 166, that means
You bet 10, you win 16.
Yeah.
$60.
Got you.
So I bet 100, I win 166 bucks.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so at the very least,
You bet 10 grand, you got what?
the reason I asked JJ is because
66 or 160 grand and $600. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or no.
16,000.
Your math's bad, bro.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
16,000.
16,600.
Oh,
That's that Ocala Forest.
Yeah, that's
math's
Forest
what that
High
is.
School. I didn't show up to school at.
But it's like Colorado. I told you guys the other day. It's plus 25,000.
So that's 250 to 1.
250 to 1. So if you bet $1,000 on Deion Sanders to, I think, either win the Natty or make it to the CFP, you'd take 1,000, turn it into $250,000.
But really, you'd just be losing.
You'd losing 1,000, is basically. But back to the money line part is that when you see that number, okay, and let's just stay on this game right here. The Gators have been a dog by more than a touchdown. It's come off the board. It reopened at 6.5. It went down to 4.5 when they felt like Cam Rising wasn't going to play. It jumped back up to 5. My bookie just listed that as 5. But then the money line is plus 183. They're still telling you, at least as far as the way I'm reading it, they're still telling you they don't think Florida's going to win that game. They don't think Florida's or they feel like there's enough good on the other side of that bet to basically take the Utah side.
It's a difficult ask of them,
Yeah,
man.
it is.
It's a long trek out there. It's the altitude. You got to deal with that, man. Whether you want to hear about it or not, that's going to be an issue.
Right.
And you got a guy who for 3 years has underachieved at quarterback at Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So I mean, and you were 6-7 last year, and they're back-to-back Pac-12 champions. I don't know how else you look at it. They have their best, they returned 16 players, their best defense maybe ever. So here's a great point. Okay, so the 607 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures, asked, what's the last 2 years of the recruiting for Florida and Utah, their rankings? I'll give you the last 4 because that's a full class, a full roster, okay? So we're beginning with the 2023 class, which is playing this year, the true freshmen. Florida was 13, Utah was 20. 2022, Florida was 18, Utah was 34. 2021, Florida was 12, Utah was 34 again. And 2020, Florida was 9 and Utah was 30. So if you're going just by the rankings,
right,
the talent is there.
Yeah, Florida
but
has.
If you're going by development,
right,
there's no one, and I'm very safe in saying this. Nobody develops like Utah develops people. No way.
I would put a couple of other ones up there, but they're getting better stock.
Like Georgia and Alabama, of course.
Sure, but
if you get 5 stars,
right, but the one counter to what
you got to hone it.
Right, the only one I would counter you with would be Dave Clawson at Wake Forest.
Yeah, very close.
Because we're talking less stars and they develop into better players.
What Kyle Whittingham's done in that program is amazing. Amazing. They develop guys, get guys ready, not only to win games in college, they get them ready for the NFL. It's amazing what he's done.
Well, not only that, you also got to get kids. And you do the full evaluation. You got to be kids that are receptive to being coached.
Yeah.
You got to have good kids, good character, and good work ethic that comes along with being a 4- and 5-star player. And these kids got to be receptive to being coached hard and being coached well and taking advice and all the other kind of stuff. So it's a 2-part. Yeah, you got to have the assistant coaches in play to develop these guys, but you also got to have good kids. Good kids, good character, good work ethic. All that kind of stuff is in play as well. They got to be receptive.
Yeah, Pete, put the time in and be willing to sacrifice other things. Last year, Etienne and Montrell combined for 140 yards on 17 carries. Okay, 140 yards on 17 carries. That was an 8.2 yards per carry clip. against the Utah.
I thought last year they didn't run it enough.
Right. And so if you're looking on the Florida side of this and you think that they are going to try and run the ball,
I think their O-line's as good as it was last year, too.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah. And so even though that is a deep Utah team, Florida should have enough talent in that department to be able to run the football, move the chain.
Here's the thing, and you and I were talking about this after the show yesterday. Montrell Johnson has the ability to put it on
I
on the
wouldn't even
ground.
call it a
okay?
pension. Yeah.
He's got the ability to put it on the ground every once in a while.
Right.
And frankly, so does Trevor Etienne. You cannot give away a turnover in that game.
Right.
You just, I mean, especially if you are in the negative side of the field. But you can't. I mean, you just can't do it because that'll kill you. They need turnovers. They don't need to give the ball away like that. They need short fields. They need quick scores. They need shock scores. The shock scores, Leon, and correct me if I'm wrong, the shock scores are how you went on the road. You shock them by scoring early and the sudden change scores, and it's, whoa, all right, these guys are here to play. That's how you went on the road.
Yeah, and Graham Mertz is going to have to come into play at some particular time. He's got to take some shots because if I'm Utah, until he proves me otherwise, the Dinkin and Duncan ain't going to help. He got to take some shots down the field just to keep Utah's defense honest. Because if I'm Utah, I'm putting 8 and 9 in the box and say, hey, listen, unless you're going 2 and 3 wide. I mean, if you're getting a 2 tight end set, I'm saying, listen, I'm going to pound you, and I'm going to stop you. Graham Mertz is you got to let it fly.
Yeah,
you
they're going to make him. Yeah, they're going to make him.
Yeah, because they're going to make him because the uncertainty of it, or the film that they watched him in Wisconsin.
Right.
Say, listen, you put pressure on this guy. He's going to throw ducks.
Prove that you can beat us.
Exactly.
Now, these are numbers from Saturday Down South, so you can easily go there and find it as you're breaking down this game. I always like to go and check out a couple different spots as far as some of the numbers are concerned, but this is, just these are stats as opposed to the betting numbers. Utah, 18th in the country against the run last year. So you'd say that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
If they're top 20 against the run, that's going to be a stout front. Well, this is where the SEC in me comes out. Florida had 280-plus rushing yards against the Utes. That was the most that Utah gave up last season. So what does that tell you?
I feel like you say the Utes every time.
The Utes.
For My Cousin Vinny thing.
Yeah, of course it is. It's for Joe Pesci.
But that's how you say it, right?
It's
I'm
the
not
Utes.
wrong when I say that.
It's the Utes.
You definitely have that little the Utes.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I know a guy. And so it's the Utes for sure. But that was the most rushing yards that they gave up against a defense that was top 20. You know what that tells you? That is a good SEC running game, a good front, and Utah doesn't necessarily see that all season long. That's how I'm reading it.
Yeah.
And we'll find out whether or not they can go out there and do it. Now, Oregon State had 171 rushing yards on them, Southern Cal 175, so there were other ones that were successful, but Florida had the most against them. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's.
Well, I mean, you know what that says, that SEC, my big on your big is better.
Right. And that's
what it is. And listen, the only time they gave up that many yards is against an SEC team, and they've been good against the rest of their conference, that's the SEC beating his chest, saying our big on your big is better.
Because if you look at the numbers, that was a full 100 yards more.
Wait, but did you take Anthony Richardson running too now?
Well, yeah, but it was all of it. It was still 283 yards.
But I'm not sure their big's as good as the other big. That's the whole thing.
Well, I'm saying last year their big on their big was better.
Yeah.
Yes. They averaged 8.2 yards a carry.
Well, I mean, Utah started running the ball in the second half too. Literally just running it right down their throat second half. So, I mean, it was a lot of imposing of the will going on last year.
Sure, both of these teams are right now trying to prove that they can do what you just said and get the job done on both sides of the ball. All right, let us know what you think. 641-1010. We'll get to a couple of texts on this subject. You can also hit us on YouTube, 1010XL. Hit the chat area there. We'll get back to the Jaguars as well and some other NFL news. Other NFL news besides Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott and how affected he is by Trey Lance being there, because that is just the most unbelievable two sets of stories that I cannot wait until there's actual ball and people will have to actually talk about something other than Aaron Rodgers in another state of green or Dak and how he's dealing with Trey coming to D-Town.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Play-by-play sports just sounds better on radio. For high school, college, and pro sports play-by-play, turn on 1010XL.
The Internal Revenue Service is reported to be receiving $80 billion in additional funding for the 2022 tax year for unpaid tax enforcement. There has never been a budget increase this large in the history of the IRS. All of this funding is for more revenue officers and collecting delinquent taxes. If you owe the IRS, you have a short time to get your tax issues resolved or face financial devastation. J. David Tax Law is right here in Jacksonville and provides tax relief for all personal, payroll, and sales tax problems. They've achieved thousands of successful outcomes for their clients, and that's why their reputation speaks for itself. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, do your research to see why J. David Tax Law is the most effective option to relieve your tax burden. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Did you know the new 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid has an onboard system that charges the battery so you never have to plug it in? When you think Honda, you think quality, value, safety. Now think hybrid. Visit your local Honda dealer and experience the car of tomorrow today.
Beat the heat at Best Bet. We're paying out over $600,000 during the month of August with events like our $1,500 high hands. The action is on fire and there are tons of daily poker tournaments going on all month long. Come play the hottest games, including Ultimate Texas Hold'em, 3-card poker, 1-card poker, DJ Wild, and Pai Gow. Stay cool this month at Best Bet. For more information, visit bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Mia here, and I want to talk to you about something that will transform your life. With Motto Clear aligners, only available at Aspen Dental, you can now achieve a beautiful smile with doctor-directed care. And for an affordable price, Motto is the smarter way to straighten your teeth. Start today and get $100 off with their Summer of Smiles event. What are you waiting for? Visit aspendental.com/Motto aligners to find a location near you and take the first step toward creating your new smile.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 31st, 1990, Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. become the first father and son to play on the same team for Major League Baseball. The pair hit back-to-back singles in the first inning.
TV's everywhere to watch sports, delicious food, drinks, league play nearly every night for billiards and poker, award-winning gumbo. 9-Ball Heaven is the place to be. We're off University Boulevard offering all of this and more. An upscale, non-smoking sports bar and billiards hall. We are the place to watch the game and shoot pool with your friends. 9-Ball Heaven also offers private parties, a private bar, and catering. 9-Ball Heaven, where the players play.
Okay, Gator Nation, y'all ready to do that Gator Chomp? It's your boy E to the T. And Brackish Vodka and I have something special brewing for you at Miller's Ale House for the Gator Game Watch Party versus Utah. Join me Thursday, August 31st at Miller's Ale House in Tinseltown for the ultimate Florida Gator Game Watch Party. We taking it to the next level, baby. Ale House is now pouring Brackish Vodka, proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguar. So gather up all your homies, deck yourself in that orange and blue, and come cheer with me, E.T. Thursday for the Gator Game Watch Party at Miller's Ale House, Tinseltown. Come on, somebody.
Hey, sports fans, it's Ace Carline for QC Kinetics, and look, I can't make it any simpler. QC Kinetics can change your life. You can live again without that chronic joint pain and without drugs or surgery. You've got to reach out for a free consultation at 904-274-5522 and make an appointment at one of their branches, Mandarin or Ponte Vedra. QC Kinetics is advanced regenerative medicine. They take your body's own concentrated healing properties and put them right into your joint to restore and repair that damaged tissue that's causing all of that horrible pain. The patient satisfaction reports are astonishing. Finally, there is a real alternative to the old ways of dealing with pain. And unlike surgery, there's no downtime with QC treatments. If you have constant pain in your knees, hips, shoulder, or back, you need to call and get a free consultation from the medical professionals at QC Kinetics. 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522.
Did you know that hot weather is worse for your car than cold? It's true. Extreme heat can evaporate your battery's fluids and cause corrosion. If you're having a hard time starting your engine, visit Batteries Plus. We'll test your battery free of charge. We have plenty of replacement batteries on hand. Plus, we offer installation on most makes and models, or upgrade to Premier installation for added protection. Stop by your nearest location or shop our selection online at batteriesplus.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jaguars announced a handful of roster moves earlier this morning. The team has signed defensive lineman Angelo Blackson and offensive lineman Blake Hance to the active roster. The Jags have also placed offensive lineman Cooper Hodges and defensive tackle Devon Hamilton on the reserve injured list. Both Hodges and Hamilton are eligible to return, but will miss the first 4 games of the season. Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson said earlier this week the non-football injury to Hamilton was a shocker. Peterson may have more on the Hamilton injury in the upcoming press conference along with Trent Baalke. Doug Peterson's son, Josh Peterson, was among 4 Jaguars added to the practice squad earlier this morning. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's ring up another guest on the All-Pro Roofing phone line. This is XL Primetime, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
A weekly visit with this man that owns the info when it comes to FSU, and we welcome Rick Ballou on to break down FSU, LSU, with the idea that we're going to call this, Matt Hayes, give it to him,
the tip of the spear.
You like it, Rick?
Love it.
Yeah.
Love
I
it.
knew you would.
Absolutely.
I knew it.
Yeah. Welcome in, bro.
Party with the Chief before. We've dropped the spear all throughout Tallahassee, so this should be a lot of fun.
I
Looking
love
forward to it each and every week.
I love it. Now, into the night, you can always expect the latest, the greatest from Ricky B, but wanted to get him on to talk about this game, and we'll do this throughout the season with Florida State. But I'm so, back and forth, and you and I talked a bunch about this game up in Charlotte at the ACC kickoff, Rick, but I feel like there are more guys ready to answer the bell offensively and defensively for Florida State than LSU. What say you?
Well, you just never know this early. You don't. It's not like the Jags. It's not like the preseason where you get 3 games. I mean, we'll see it tonight as well with Florida, Utah. I just don't have a good feeling for what's going to happen in game 1 where there's a lot of mistakes, and that could end up really being the difference in this game. What team makes the most mistakes? I mean, look a year ago at this point. Florida State's up 14 points in the Superdome with 7 minutes to go, and they hand the game to LSU. And there's not a person alive right now who will say that if Brian Kelly didn't go for 2, as he did later in the year against Alabama, LSU wins that game. So, that's the way I look at it. Now, Florida State, this is the best team they've had in a very long time. I just can't believe the comments that Urban Meyer made yesterday that Florida State is a year away. That is such an incredibly incompetent statement by an incompetent human being. Florida State is built to win this year. They could have 12 to 15 draft picks from this year's class. They're not going to be ready in a year, but I don't know why I gave Urban that much time. This team is loaded. They had the most offensive production of any team in college football. They returned the most college football starts along the offensive line, not all of them at Florida State. They got 7 defensive guys that I think will be in the NFL next year. So this team is loaded. The problem, LSU is loaded as well.
Yeah, Rick, there's much to do about the quarterback play. Both guys are rightfully so Heisman hopefuls. I mean, how important is it for Florida State and their running back and their offensive line to be balanced, to have not only the passing attack but the running game against this vaunted LSU defense?
Well, they have to be, because Harold Perkins Jr. may be the best defensive player in all of college football. I mean, he was absolutely incredible last year as a freshman, and he does it all. He's a little bit like a Micah Parsons in a way. He'll rush the quarterback from all over the field. If you want to drop him in coverage, he can certainly do that. And if Trey Benson and company aren't able to run that football, and then all of a sudden they make Florida State one-dimensional, LSU is going to be able to pin back their ears and get after them. Both these quarterbacks have a lot of experience, and both these quarterbacks have both really improved. And, that's a testament to Brian Kelly, and certainly that is as well to Mike Norvell. It's about getting there, working through your offense, and then developing in that system. And both these quarterbacks have done that. Travis has received more preseason pub, but Jaden Daniels is very good as well, including what he's able to do with his feet. He ran for almost 900 yards a year ago.
So, Rick, I feel like people really aren't really in tune to how good Florida State could be offensively. I mean, it's not just the skill guys who are terrific with the addition of Keon Coleman, who I just absolutely love. The young dudes, Destin Hill, Hakeem Williams, the young receivers. Jaheim Bell, who was probably South Carolina's best player last year. And I look at, the tackle. Jeremiah Byers is a guy that everybody wanted, and now he's the starting right tackle for them. I look at this as if Jordan Travis plays as well as he played last year, and I think he's going to play better than last year, they're going to score a lot of points on anyone. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game in Orlando. It's going to be hot, and, obviously you got to protect him. You got to keep Jordan Travis healthy. He's yet to prove that he can go an entire season without coming off the field for at least some point. Last year, we saw what happened against Louisville and how he really toughed it out with the injury in the bowl game against Oklahoma. But that's what it's all about. I mean, Robert Scott is one guy in that offensive line that NFL mock drafts have going fairly early in the NFL draft, and it's not 100% certainty that he's going to be the starter at left tackle. A lot of people think it may be Bless Harris or perhaps a rotation. So, yeah, offense is going to be of a premium. There's no question about that. But, who can make plays on the defensive side? For instance, a year ago when Tate Rodemaker came in and they knocked off Louisville after Travis went down, ended up being the great defensive play by Kevin Knowles, who's now gone from corner to safety. The interception, able to keep his feet in bounds, ended up being the difference in that game. If not, Louisville's at 35, and they're going in to win it. So it's about making big plays, and I have a feeling we all return and talk about this next week. That'll be the difference in this game. A big play late, and unfortunately, a big mistake late.
A couple more for Rick Ballou. You'll get plenty more from him at Ballou1010XL on social, and then into the night with Rick Ballou coming up with programming tomorrow at 3 o'clock. We'll make sure that we set that up for everybody for your show, Rick. But I want to go to the coaching part of this. And, I know you have strong opinions about Mike Norvell at times. Game day. Who was the better game day coach, and how much of a factor do you think that will be?
Well, Brian Kelly's a much better big game coach. He's been in huge games at Notre Dame and LSU, but I just referenced the point where in a big game he made an enormous mistake. They went for 2 last year. They win. They knock out Florida State. There's no way. They just allowed an 11-play, 99-yard drive, and they were exhausted. They wouldn't have stopped them. I have massive questions about Mike Norvell as a game caller. Where do you want me to begin? Going for it a couple of years ago on 4th down from their own 32 in the second quarter against Notre Dame. Not playing prevent defense against Jacksonville State. Running tight end counters at goal line. His goal line offense is awful. But prove me wrong. He's only 41. He's finally got the horses. He's got the players. Go out there and call a good football game. And, adding Randy Shannon on the defense and, what he has done in the contain with Patrick Surtain, they're a much better coached defensive team than they used to be. But, you can't possibly give Mike Norvell, who's 11-13 in the ACC and 18-16 overall at Florida State, with just some colossal losses, the coaching advantage against Brian Kelly. If you do, you're the biggest homer. And my advice to you is to, put the mortgage on the house that Florida State wins this game money line, because that would be ridiculous to go in with that type of attitude.
Now, Rick, there are matchup battles that throughout this game. I mean, cornerback, wide receiver, O-line, D-line, whatever it may be, running back, linebacker. As far as Florida State goes, where do you see the clear-cut advantage in matchups that Florida State should take advantage of, and you would be surprised that they didn't?
Well, if they can run, it fixes everything. And, Trey Benson was huge throughout the course of the season, huge in that fourth quarter drive against Florida. Then for one reason or another, he just elected not to show up against Oklahoma. He had 12 carries for 25 yards. He needed 35 yards for 1,000. I remember there was a point in people's careers where getting 1,000 yards actually meant something. That was not the case in the bowl game for Trey Benson. Now, if they're able to run it, Florida State's huge. Their wide receivers are mammoth, and they're all going to the NFL. Keon Coleman could be the second overall wide receiver selected in this year's draft. They just got him out of Michigan State. Johnny Wilson's 6'7". Dustin Hill is a blazer. These young backups are all 6'3", 6'4". You add Jaheim Bell. I mean, they have got so much firepower as far as their offensive skill positions are concerned. That should be a massive advantage. It should be a huge advantage for Florida State. And they should be able to do basically whatever they want offensively as far as their scheme, whether it's quick outs, deep balls, intermediate routes, crossing patterns. We saw a lot of different stuff that has been thrown in by Mike Norvell and Alex Atkins back here in Jacksonville a few weeks ago when they practiced at UNF. I love Florida State's offensive attack here against LSU as long as they're able to run the football.
All right, we have to ask you this. In the event of a loss, two things. Number one, how are you going to handle it? And then number two, how does Florida State deal with the loss, do you think? Do you think they have the idea of this can still be a great season if they lose this game?
Yeah, I think they can, as long as they don't get blown out. If they lose, they'll be okay. They got a schedule where they have Clemson on the road at the end of the month. Very winnable games after that. Some tough trips, in my opinion, to Pittsburgh when it will be cold. And obviously that rivalry at the University of Florida is going to be big. I want to believe they're better coached. I want to believe they have a lot of leaders. It was obvious here when they practice at UNF. They're treating certain guys like Jared Verse and Lovett and Peyton almost like NFL players, where they were off to the side and for the most part they weren't even practicing, which is new. But I guess that's the way college football is going to go today with the NIL and the fact that those type of players elected to return. Florida State will be fine. If they stay focused, they can go out and have a great year, win or lose in this game. I'm going to actually go in here with a crystal clear attitude, and win or lose, I'll be fine Sunday and Monday. Just give me a whole bunch of Miller Lite and some Tullamore Dew, and I'll fight off that hangover, and I'll be ready to rock and roll again next Tuesday.
The Dew can do a lot. That's what people need to know. All right, Rick, thanks, buddy. We appreciate it. We look forward to it. We'll visit with Rick every week, and then obviously into the night. So 3 o'clock tomorrow, launch.
3 o'clock on the AM. That includes the radio station and the app. Look forward to it.
All right, brother, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Truth Teller.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so he said it because it could be okay, but he made a couple really important points. And Leon, we got to make a pick before you go, but just touch on that last part. Honestly, that game day coaching, we're going to find out if Mike Norvell, and he gave great examples of when he didn't, but I do think he's developing into a very good game day coach.
Well, this is prime time. You got to see how he's going to react to it. When the light shine is bright, let's see how you're going to be the lead singer or the backup. He's got to be a lead singer. He's got to make sure he has that same attitude for this game because it's a big prime time game. The last year's game, I don't know how much was expected of Florida State last year compared to this year. This year, they're speaking national championship, so let's go see how he performs in this big stage against a very good team.
Now, they obviously have a ton of talent, but Brian Kelly was just in his first game last year, so we're also going to see how much better he is. All right, we got to make one of 6 picks. Is that correct, JJ? You're going to run the show on this. Coach Campbell will be part of it tomorrow, but we've got to officially.
Yeah, I got to text Campo and get his pick, but I do have Mia's. So, yes, we'll make one pick right now and the rest tomorrow.
Yeah, and the only reason we're doing it now is because
they play tonight, obviously. So, UF at Utah. We're using MyBookie because that is a sponsor of the program. Utah right now is a 5-point favorite, so I'll give you Mia's first, since she texted me.
Yeah.
She has Utah winning, but Florida covering. She has Utah 27-23. So she's taking the Gators. I'm taking the Gators +5 as well. And I guess we should start with Joe, our defending champ.
That's right. I got the belt. I got the belt. And look, I'm gatored up today. I can't help it. I'm probably hedging my bets online right now, just trying to take a look at what's the best play there. But I got to take the 5. I got to. And I think Florida, obviously, what I've been talking about this entire time, run the ball and then run a bunch of defenders at that quarterback. I got Florida, and I'll take the 5.
That's a lot of points without a starting quarterback. A lot of points. Here's the thing that I am concerned about. It's early in the game. Mertz is juiced. He throws a pass that's a little high. Not uncatchable, but a little high. But for those young receivers, and it tips off their hands, and it hits into a safety.
Wow.
He gets it and goes pick 6, and then they just go in the tank.
If that happens.
So I'm concerned about something like that happening. Or, as we've said over and over, Montrell Johnson can put the ball on the ground. You know what I mean?
Right.
They cannot turn the ball over, period. That's a lot of points. I think Utah's going to win, but I will take the points. I'll take the 5.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
I've got – initially I had Florida winning earlier in the week, but as we get closer to the game, I've changed my mind, flipped the script a little bit. I got Utah winning 20-16.
Well, then you have Utah or Florida covering as well?
I have Florida covering, yes.
Okay, and he's got a 36-point total, and if we know one thing about Leon, Las Vegas like
he's
Leon.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good that way. So
well, the first 2 years he was.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Third year he was, and then fourth year wasn't that much better.
Yeah,
either.
but still, he was a 2-time champ.
Yeah, exactly. Still got back to back.
He was back to back.
That matters. That matters. All right, Big. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
All right.
All right. So he heads out. That will be the first of 6. We'll do it every week. 6-pack of picks with a six of us, including Coach Campo, on Fridays.
You remember how good he was, man?
Oh my God.
God, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, he was unstoppable. And then went 0-5 1 week,
and then just right off the cliff.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's XL Primetime.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. Things you never hear Dan and Jeff say.
Look, I just want to say I'm sorry for the way I acted.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser are The Drill.
I was a maniac.
Yeah, but I see you changed your ways.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Mia here. Football is back, and so is winning season at MyBookie. Look, if you're anywhere near as fired up for the season as we are, you got to get a bet in on the action. NFL, college football, and a brand new cash-out system. MyBookie gives you options to bet and win all season long. First 2 legs of your parlay hit, cash out early and use the funds on another bet, or let it ride for the chance at a bigger payday. Use early cash outs as a tool to stay in control of the action at MyBookie. To get started, go to mybookie.ag now and register for an account for free. When you're ready to make your first deposit, just use promo code 1010XL to grab a welcome bonus totally on the house. Maybe place a futures bet on the Jags or perhaps some Gators Utah action. Wherever your pick is, sign up with the promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus and, for a limited time, a free chip to use in the MyBookie casino. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
PRP treatment is kind of the thing these days, and in many cases, it eliminates the need for surgery. This is Sheridan Tootin, and my experience with PRP from Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has been nothing short of great. I'm really feeling much better now. Ask your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist doctor about PRP treatment.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, where athletes are treated like pros.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can now do it in less than a week. Hey, it's Prosser here, and that's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, or even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. And you don't even have to touch your primary mortgage, so you can keep that 3% rate intact. Just get the money you need and pay off all those credit cards, or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 904-999-1508. LoanPronto.com or 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
There's something special about Napa Auto Care Centers. They're backed by the national power of Napa and a 24-month, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty. But more importantly, your Napa Auto Care Center is locally owned and operated by a strict written code of ethics. Put your vehicle in the hands of ASE-certified technicians you can trust. Find us at jacksnapaautocare.com. David Garrard Mondays on Jaguars Today are brought to you by Beach Plaza Auto Care and East Coast Auto Care.
Love seafood and football? Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach should be your first choice when craving the freshest seafood in the 904. Come watch the Jags and enjoy a cocktail on the newly renovated patio. So when you're out at the beach, stop into the beach's best oyster bar for the last 40 years. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. Fully renovated with more seating to serve the freshest seafood around. Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach, locally owned by Safe Harbor Seafood.
It's tune-up time, and Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars, wants to partner with you for a cool summer season. Tune up your AC unit right now so it's running at peak performance when you need it most. Just call 777-4300 and order a tune-up for just $59. Keep your unit humming at optimal level. Log on to FloridaHomeAC.com and take advantage of their savings. Keep cool with Florida Home AC. That's 777-4300.
Electricians, innovators, and tech enthusiasts, listen up. Miller Electric is shaping the future, and we want you to be a part of it. From healthcare and data centers, corporate offices, aviation, and industrial facilities, Miller Electric is powering the most exciting projects in Jacksonville and beyond. We offer not just a job, but a thrilling career with great pay and incredible benefits. Visit us at millercareers.com to apply. Miller Electric, where your skills meet our vision and equal opportunity employer.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. It is finally here. Tonight, the Florida Gators kick off the 2023 season at Utah. Gators head coach Billy Napier on the road trip to Utah.
They've got a fantastic record at home. It is an opener. It is a red out. We understand they'll be at full capacity. There'll be some Gators out there, too.
Tonight is the Gators' first regular season Thursday night game since 1992 at Mississippi State. Gators kick off at Utah tonight at 8 o'clock. Our pregame coverage of Florida football begins at 5 o'clock on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. It's right now 92 degrees at 2:05. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller. More of XL Primetime is coming up next.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Prime Time, protected by Preferred Roofing on 1010XL.
We had a good time talking college ball. We'll get back into some Jaguar ball in the 2 o'clock hour, including some stuff coming out of the bank right now. And Mia, Hayes are all down there as far as the presser with and just for context, it looks like Dougie Fresh is in flip-flops and the visor. I love the fact that he's keeping the visor alive. I'm a visor guy.
You are a visor guy.
I love visors, but there's not enough of them out there.
Kirby Smart.
Yeah, and Kirby's keeping it alive. Of course,
yeah,
the ball coach.
They're sitting.
Yeah. And so flip-flops for Dougie, Balky next to him. They're just chill. But one piece of news that came out, Caleb Von Chason is a proud papa. So let's give him a round of applause.
Yeah.
Even though we haven't been able to give him a round of applause for play too often.
Sack Guru Jr.
Yeah, exactly. So the little man will be known as Sack.
That's not his Twitter handle.
Who has more sacks this year?
Is that his Twitter
Chason
handle?
or his son?
Yeah. Well,
wait, that's his Twitter handle?
It used to be, or his IG or something.
All I know is that kid's going to sack some diapers. I know that.
I didn't realize how expensive diapers were.
Oh my gosh!
It's making me rethink whether I want to have one.
Yeah,
so
they're all right. Two things that are really expensive when you have a newborn or a youngster, a toddler.
Diapers is one.
Daycare.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I've been warned.
Diapers and daycare are out of control, and you can.
And I don't live
you
with
literally...
my mother and her mother live in different cities, so
Right.
we don't have like a built-in.
That's not good.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
like
worried
hack.
about that.
Like some people have had.
Hack, yes.
Yeah, that's like a $25,000 built-in.
Oh
okay?
yeah.
I mean, I'm exaggerating.
Maybe
a little
I'll
bit.
take him to Hack's mom's house.
Exactly.
She may do it.
Yeah, she probably would say, "Turn around and go." Little man has worn me out. But honestly, daycare and diapers and formula, because like
early on, yeah,
the last one,
Yeah.
Annie was doing the old, getting the milk out because she'd have to go to work.
Is that how
all
you
that
word
kind of
it?
stuff. You got to
Getting-
pump.
Getting the milk out.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Because-
Maybe to get some extra money on the side, I should run a daycare center.
Yeah, you probably could. And then,
good luck with that, bro.
and then your next thought is, what about insurance? Yeah, insurance for those bad boys.
Oh my God!
Probably
you have to
sky high.
insure children.
Yeah,
Jeez.
probably sky high. And you got to go through all the training and all. All right, we just had an idea, and then we just said,
Just crushed
heck with
your
that
idea.
idea. We just crushed it. All right, we'll get back into the Jags. Okay, so the biggest piece of news, real quick, JJ, before we're a little behind.
Yeah, Caleb Vaughn had a baby, and
Nothing on Devon.
So Mia was like, I'm going to go. I'm going to make sure I ask about Devon because, like we've been talking about for a week now, it's very secretive
Right.
over there at the bank about what is actually wrong with his back. So she says she asked about Devon Hamilton, and Balky said he had a, quote, medical situation, end quote.
Yeah,
And this
okay.
is Mia's own words. She said, and didn't sound worried about him not returning after a 4-week stay on injured reserve.
Okay,
So-
it could be poker face or whatever. They're trying to put on a face, but we don't know. We do not know that part of it. I'm hoping, of course, that
Lots of vagueness.
Yeah, that he's coming back. And then also, real quick, Trent Baalke was asked about Parker Washington. He said there were several teams that reached out regarding the rookie, but that it was never something that the Jags entertained. So that is interesting because they are still carrying the 7 wide receivers for the here and now.
And quickly on Devon, last thing. Mia said, confirmed Devon Hamilton had a chance to be ready earlier, but it was a precautionary move to put him on the reserve IR. They
Okay,
expect
so
him
Had a
back.
chance to be ready earlier.
Yeah, that would suggest that he's
And maybe like
2
he could
weeks
come back
away.
in 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, like Joe said.
Yeah.
But
So-
instead, they're just going to be like, hey, just let him sit for 4 weeks.
And the interesting thing is they pluck a guy who's been in the league for eight years and since 2015 and is going to come in and lend some help, but we'll find out what the other guys are going to be able to do interiorly for that defensive front. All right, we'll keep it rolling. It's XL Primetime on a beautiful Thursday. Beautiful because we didn't have to deal with hardly anything. We had one guy go through the neighborhood looking to pick up sticks. He just drove through there and then drove right back out. There was nothing there to pick up, which was good news. Promise you.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL. 1010XL, giving you more to dig.
Can you dig it?
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 1010XL.
This Labor Day, take a day off from work and put your money to work for you when you shop with my friends at Arlington Toyota. Mia here, and Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned has an unbeatable inventory of over 500 used vehicles all in one place. I'm talking cars under $18K, over 200 SUVs. Need a pickup truck? They have over 100 just waiting for you at Arlington Pre-Owned. But what if you really want a new ride and you're really worried about your credit? Don't be. At Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, $500 down gets almost everyone approved. And just in time for Labor Day, you can drive now with no payments until January 2024. That's right, $500 down, no payments until January 2024. And don't forget Arlington's 30-day exchange program. 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it for one that you do. With over 500 used vehicles, friendly credit approval, no payments until January 2024, and a 30-day exchange, I gotta ask, why would you go anywhere else? 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio. Celebrating their 30th year, our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is going big.
That's right, Austin. Sports bettors can win a new truck, get the industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus, and even get up to 30 risk-free bets.
Touchdown! BetUS also has a 150% casino sign-up bonus.
Blackjack, now you're talking, Austin. They also have live dealers and live betting on sports, including racetrack.
Get started today at BetUS.com, where the game begins.
As your favorite football teams gear up for the season, so is the team at River City Lighting on Phillips Highway. Come in this week during their moving sale and score big-time savings with everything 40 to 70% off. This moving sale includes all lighting, fans, mirrors, fountains, and artwork. Hurry in today for the best selection and find the lights of your dreams at River City Lighting and the Fan Man on Phillips Highway, just north of 295.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, with answers to the questions I'm asked the most. Yes, we are local, and no, I'm not hiring an actor to read these commercials. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Whether you're in need of a simple AC repair or it's time to upgrade your HVAC system, Duck Air Conditioning is here to help. Give us a call today to schedule an estimate, 904-862-6769, or online at duckac.com.
Follow the Seminoles' quest back to the college football mountaintop.
I'm RJ Saunders, and I'll keep you tapped in to Tallahassee all season long on the Seminole Report.
Brought to you by your local Ag Pro, your home team on 1010XL.
This is Sheridan Tootin, Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, and Dr. Kevin Murphy put my right shoulder back together a few years ago, and I'm still feeling great. Now I'm using PRP treatment for my knee pain. No matter what you're dealing with, if you're enduring any orthopedic issue, my only recommendation is Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
If your lawn is not as green as you'd like, it's time to go orange by calling Orange Environmental Services, Jacksonville's highest quality pest control for over 45 years. Frank Frangie here. I've trusted Orange Environmental to take care of our home's pest control needs for years. With the Orange Shield Protection Plan for your home or office, you can relax knowing Orange Environmental will handle pest control, termite control, and mosquito control. Orange Environmental has been giving Northeast Florida peace of mind from bug problems since 1972. Call them today at 272-3284.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Let's fire up the flavor and ignite those appetites. Let's slow down and smell the barbecue. Because all your favorites are smoked for hours and ready for eating when you are. From our famous ribs to slow smoked pork. Enjoy some perfection by the plateful, safely in our dining room or in the comfort of your home. With curbside pickup, drive-through, and delivery. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
2 o'clock hour, plenty coming out of the bank as Doug Peterson, your head coach, and Trent Baalke, your GM, talking about this 53-man, everything that is going on as far as injuries are concerned. Talked about K'Lavon Chaisson and his partner, as it was tweeted, that they had a baby. And then also Tyler Lacey is another guy along that defensive front. These are Mia's tweets, and there are plenty of others down there, but we just want to give her credit since she left our show to go down there. Tyler Lacey, a hip, is day-to-day, and the team will reevaluate on Monday. Now, he was a fourth-round draft pick out of Oak State. At times, flash, big, strong guy, inside, can move a little bit.
Good player at Oak State.
But right now, when they say day-to-day and it's a hip and they'll reevaluate on Monday, you're hoping for good news. Antonio Johnson, hamstring, progressing nicely is the quote that she included from Doug. And then one other one.
But they're going to hold him out, right, from week 1?
Yeah, you would think so, towards not playing him versus the Colts, quote, because of nature of the injury.
Right.
So that's the quote as far as Antonio Johnson is concerned. And then also, when asked about Trey Herndon, if he is the starting nickel, Doug said yes. So that's good news. Like I said, he made a play the other night, and all you Duval Nooner saw it. But Miami was trying to establish after that terrible over the head of Tua snap where they ended up a 3rd and 35. Well, they got the ball back. They went down the field. They were trying to match your Jaguars and get in the end zone, and Trey Herndon broke on the ball and made a hell of a play. That's the type of guy you need to see in the nickel doing those types of things.
Broke on the ball.
Yeah. Do you agree?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, that you got to.
You don't see that often. So
no, and made the read, put the foot in the ground, broke on it, broke it up, and that's a good passing unit that they were going up against at that point. So that's good news, just as far as keeping an eye on everybody. The active roster, adding defensive linemen, Angelo Blackson. They added Blake Hance after they didn't include him as part of the 53 because they had to put Cooper Hodges on reserve injured and Devon Hamilton. So both of those guys, depending on the injury, have a chance to come back. And the
good
one
news,
distinction.
Which is great news.
Yeah, it really is. One distinction you and I have been talking about, what does that specifically mean about Devon? We are all trying to read the tea leaves. And you just got to assume that he is in a position.
The verbiage is just odd. That's
right.
All.
Yeah, but that 4 weeks would be, at least the way it's being described, is that 4 weeks they believe would be the max that he would need.
So he had a chance to come back after 2, but couldn't.
Right.
Does that mean there was a setback or?
No, we don't know. In other words, it was that's the vague language there, saying that there's a chance he could have come back. And again, this is all reading between the lines here. They didn't specifically say anything.
Right.
And so, other than it's a non-football injury, and now we know officially he has been put on the reserve injured list. All right, let's hit a couple of odds from our man Jimmy Shapiro as far as college football is concerned. What do you got?
So Jimmy's got some updated odds as far as, the direct odds to win the 2023 NCAA championship, which would be the playoff.
I was about to say, what is that?
Never heard of it.
On January 1 of 23.
Doesn't the NCAA have nothing to do with it?
Other than keeping
absolutely
people
nothing
ineligible.
Other than trying to police it. Yeah. They have nothing to do with it. So on January 10 of 23, Georgia's odds were 3-1. They're now 12-5.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama in January was 15-4. They're now 6-1. Significant drop.
I'm trying to do odds of 12-5 in my head of what that is.
Alabama went from 15-4 to 6-1. So Vegas does not like the quarterbacks. Michigan,
with good reason.
Yeah, Michigan went from 12-1 to 15-2.
That's basically cutting it in half.
Yeah. Ohio State went from 6-1 to 8-1. Also a little uneasy about the quarterbacks. LSU went from 40-1 to 10-1.
Wow, that's
good
huge.
bet.
Okay.
And when we're talking about that back and forth with talent between FSU and LSU, Jaden Daniels, if he gets it rolling early in the year, because remember, he blossomed the second half of the season. And if they get a running game to go along with him, they know they got a good offensive line. They know they got a good defensive line. That's a big jump.
Here's another big jump. Florida State, 50-1 in January. 50, 50-1. 18-1 now.
Okay, but still, it's interesting. 40-1 to 10-1 for LSU, 50-18 for FSU. So the odds makers are still leaning
for FSU. Yeah,
they're still leaning LSU with
so
those two teams.
Here's some more interesting ones. Colorado went from off the board to 100-1. Your Florida Gators from 75-1 to 200-1.
There's some skeptics.
Clearly,
out there.
they do not like Mertz.
Yeah, there is some skeptics out there.
Clearly,
that's for
clearly
sure.
they're not happy with Mertz. Miami might be the biggest faller, actually.
Yeah.
Miami went from 50-1 to 200-1.
Now,
wow, Miami's at 201.
200-1.
All right, I got to look at some of these.
That's got to be the worst we've ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be down there with, the FIUs and the like.
The programs started at 100-1 in January. It's now 200-1.
Well, as long as we're with the program, I feel pretty all right.
Here's a larger drop than Miami. This is very surprising to me. K-State went from 40-1 to 200-1. That's strange. Because I think K-State's a dangerous team right now. That's interesting.
Here's the deal, though. It's
let's
not
do the
to
Heisman
get
real quick.
to the playoff.
No.
To get to the
win it
playoff,
all.
K-State would be a lot
to win it all.
smaller
Right,
than that.
Right. So let's do the Heisman Trophy Award, the odds, okay? Caleb Williams in January.
Prohibitive.
January was 6-1. He's now 3-1. Jaden Daniels was 20-1. He's now 9-1. Quinn Ewers was 25-1. He's 10-1. Next up, JoJo, Cade Klubnik.
That's interesting.
Was 25-1. He's now 14-1. Let's go all the way down.
That makes zero sense.
Bo Nix is ahead of Jordan Travis. Carson Beck's ahead of Jordan Travis.
Okay, where's
Carson
Jordan
Beck,
Travis? I thought he was still 20-1.
Hang on. Carson Beck was 33-1 in January. He's now 20-1.
Because they finally named the quarterback.
Jordan Travis
as the starter.
Jordan Travis was 10-1 in January. He's now 20-1.
Okay, so he dropped a little bit.
He's dropped. Sam Hartman's dropped a little bit. Bo Nix dropped from 12 to 20-1. Michael Penix dropped from 12 to 20-1.
By the way, Sam Hartman is a decent bet to win the Heisman.
Here's a big.
After
by the way,
last week
here's a big riser.
especially.
By the way, maybe the biggest riser of all. Actually, I'm telling you, these guys are going to be good, man. Connor Wiegman, 80-1 in January, 22-1 now.
Yeah, A&M. If you're going to bet on them, all right. So let me give you this. There are a top 10 list of the best bet to fall under their projected win total. You with me?
I love that.
And then there's a top 10 to go over their win total.
I do. I love that. Love it. Yep.
And so let's just use Notre Dame to start off here because Notre Dame was impressive. Even it was not a good Navy team, but they were impressive. And Sam Hartman, like I said, he will light up scoreboards.
No offense to our fellows in Mayport.
Yeah,
that team
we love you over there in Mayport.
Right.
In Fast Eddie and Olive, we love you. But they're just not a good football team. Anyway, Notre Dame had an over of 8.5. They are a top 10 bet to go over that based on what you saw.
Based on one win over Navy.
Well, it's just the way betting works, man. You finally got a sample size. You got something to look at.
And they struggled against Navy last year.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
They did, but Navy had Ken Niumatalolo.
Yeah, and they lost to Marshall. We can
or
just
how Joe says it, Ken.
Yeah. Well, I just say Coach N. Yeah.
Ken.
Yeah. Niumatalolo.
Now that guy's he's a what do you call it? He wears the
lei.
No, but with the hat that Joe likes.
He wears the visor.
He does
wear
wear
the
it. He's
visor.
a big visor guy.
All right, so and again, these are uneven numbers, but real quick. Notre Dame is one of the betting favorites to go over their total.
Right.
Before last week, Vanderbilt was one of the favorites to go over their total.
What's
now
their
it's
total,
just
4.5?
3.5. 3.5.
Their total's 3.5?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll definitely.
Wisconsin is a betting favorite to go over their total of 8.5. Auburn is a betting favorite to go over their total of
I love that bet too.
6.5.
Yeah, I love that bet too.
Which is not bad. Clemson, to the Cade Klubnik talk, Clemson is a favorite to go over their 10. They have a win total of 10.
Wow.
Okay, so those are at least a few of them on that side. Colorado, 3.5. They're favored to go over that. Bet under your win totals. Tennessee is a favorite to bet under 9. That's
interesting.
That is interesting.
I like them to go over that.
Yeah, I might go the other way on that one.
You like them to win 10 regular season games.
Yeah, I do.
So that would only have 2 losses.
I like them.
Alabama and
I like them to beat
Georgia
Georgia at home.
I like them to win 9, so I would not. In other words, I would not bet the under.
I think they are losing to
in the swamp.
Alabama.
Start there.
No, I actually had them losing to Florida, but I think it's either going to be Florida or Texas A&M they lose to, and then they'll lose to Alabama too.
All right, so real quick, just a couple of other ones that are maybe not too much of a surprise. The number for Northwestern is 3, and the bet is under.
Bang that under.
The bet is under. Oklahoma, 9.5. The bet is under.
Yeah, I would too.
And Minnesota, who you like a little, the bet is under 7.
Who played
under
tonight?
7?
Under 7.
Bet that, JoJo.
Yeah. You want to bet over 7?
You just said you think they'll beat Nebraska tonight, though.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, but still under 7.
No, over.
Oh,
over.
I see.
Yeah,
He's shocked by
over.
that.
I see.
Very surprised.
Wasn't there some sort of off-the-field stuff with the row the boat guy this offseason?
It was like
It lasted for like an afternoon.
Right. Right. They said he was
TJ.
mean.
He
said
was
he was
mean.
mean, basically, is what they said.
That guy's mean. All right, it's XL Primetime.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
All aboard!
The momentum train is moving in the right direction.
Everyone believed in everyone.
1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Joe Seifert, the Preferred Group, Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders, companies that really do a good job from the jump. And that is absolutely in a busy construction world. There's a lot of competitive people out there trying to make sure they get your work, but you want the work that's done to be right. So make sure you check out a local company, preferredroofingjacks.com, especially with all that rain. If you're looking around, you got leaks, you need repairs, you need replacement, go with that local company, preferredroofingjacks.com. And if you're thinking about remodels, additions, brand new, they can do it. Start to finish, preferredbuildersjacks.com.
Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute is the sports medicine leader in Northeast Florida. We're proud to be the official sports medicine provider for your hometown teams, including the Jaguars, Sharks, Axemen, Armada, and the Jumbo Shrimp. We have the most cutting-edge resources for sports medicine care, including Active Armor casting, Alter-G anti-gravity treadmills, and highly trained physicians and athletic trainers. JOI is truly where the pros go, and so should you.
The blockbuster event of the summer is here.
Outrunning a helicopter isn't exactly what I had in mind for my beach getaway.
But this isn't another full-throttle action movie. It's the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event.
Wait, what?
Featuring the action-packed 2023 Nissan Rogue and Nissan Sentra, with sport modes that give the performance of a lifetime.
Stealing my spotlight.
And now comes the real star of the show.
Get 0% APR financing for 36 months on select Rogue trims. Availability is limited, so shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today.
Better hurry. These offers won't get a sequel.
For well-qualified buyers, 0% APR financing for 36 months on new 2023 Rogue, excluding S-Trim and dealer stock. Example, 36 months financing at $27.78 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to residency restrictions and NMAC credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. Ends 9/5/23.
Certainly facing challenging economic times. I can't speak for all of us, but for me, comforting to know my money is in good hands with ITP Partners. Ticket here for ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. I'll admit it, I don't understand a ton about the economy. Higher interest rates, 401ks. What I do know as I move closer to retirement, I continue to watch my money grow. Thanks to Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, and Reed Wingate. Get in the game, guys. ITP Partners, always there to help. For more info, Chris at ITPPartners.com or call 904-312-9751.
Folks, it's finally here. The return of the Blue Crab Crab House. After a massive fire, they return and they're open Tuesday through Saturday, 4:30 to 10, Sunday noon to 9. As always, each and every Tuesday, $2 margaritas, $1 oysters on Wednesday. And as expected, the best crabs that you'll find throughout Jacksonville. Same ownership, same management. The Blue Crab Crab House off of San Jose on Jillington Creek Road.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 31st, 1990, Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. become the first father and son to play on the same team for Major League Baseball. The pair hit back-to-back singles in the first inning.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on the proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade. The studied, tested, and proven fuel for the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
Ackerman Urology is now servicing the Beaches community. If you have elevated PSA, prostate, bladder, or kidney issues, plan to see the experts at Ackerman Urology right away at the new location on Atlantic and Hodges Boulevard.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's going to fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Moments ago, Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson and general manager Trent Baalke met the media to discuss their cut down to 53 on the roster. Peterson was asked about keeping 7 wide receivers on the active roster.
That's the unique thing about the roster and the way it's constructed every year. You never really go in with a set number. I mean, in your mind, you might have a set number. And sometimes, you know, you're going to go heavy at a position, you'll go light at another one, you know, or whatever it might be. So it's just how it worked out this year, you know, and we're excited for the 7 that we have, and obviously depth there, and a couple on practice squad too.
Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson earlier this hour, courtesy of Jaguars.com. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Primetime, protected by Preferred Roofing on 1010XL.
We are almost done. We got the Francis Show coming up next. Mia's made it back from the bank, so we'll get to that. I got to read this off the text line. Designed by Lifetime Enclosures, because we did a little bit of not a drive-by, but a cruise-by on Navy, and we said with apologies to Mayport and everybody over
NAS,
there.
right? Yeah.
NAS, all of them. Off the text line, Matt and Joe, it's all good. Navy looked like, and I'll just insert whale poop for what he said, and it's Petty Officer Mitchell. So thank you for your service. We love you, and hopefully Navy will be able to get back. But Notre Dame did look pretty good, that's for sure. All right, Mia, we were reading the tweets coming out of the presser, and Gibby just played that soundbite from Doug as far as 7 wide receivers are concerned, and he's right. That roster is going to change and change and change and change, but they like the guys that they had there. Clarification on, I think, what you said about Devon Hamilton. We were talking about it. Could he have come back within 2 weeks' time, or are we still just guessing?
It sounded like it. That's why
I
asked the follow-up for that reason.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm like, well, you said he may have been, there was a chance he could be ready week 1 or week 2, so was this precautionary?
Mm-hmm.
And Trent seemed, I mean, you tell me and those who listened live on Jaguars.com, by all means, I heard him say yes, which is obviously a good thing in terms of we still don't know what this injury is, but obviously it's a positive that he could have potentially
In other
returned
words,
early.
It's like I was saying to Matt, 4 is the minimum. Once you do the reserve injured, 4 is the minimum. You're giving him a chance to get healthy again and then get back in game shape over the 2 weeks to follow, if that was the timeline that they were looking at.
Right, and Trent did confirm it's reserve IR because he had misspoke there, and that's why I was like, wait, can you confirm that? And he is on reserve IR after having that NFI injury, but as Leon noted at the top of the program, that is, of course, to ensure that he is getting paid during these next 4 weeks.
Right, because the potential was there with a different designation that you wouldn't have to, but again, classy on the team. They gave him the deal in the offseason, and they paid him on this one. Foley, they also said Foley Fatukasi. They also felt like he was going to be on time.
Yes, it sounds like he's on time. The big reason that Doug wouldn't give a timeline is because he was working off to the side doing individual drills throughout the duration of this week and last week, ever since he suffered that injury in Detroit. And so that's where he doesn't want to say anything on it, but they have been saying now for 2 weeks that he's trending in the right direction. And so Tyler Lacey, which you could get to that in a second, and Antonio Johnson all will be reevaluated Monday when they return from the Labor Day weekend.
So Fatukasi's, what is it, a heel?
Heel soreness. Per what he told Brian Sexton on the practice field, it was a heel, and he said it's just sore. And that's why they had him in a boot as a precautionary measure.
I love Doctor. I can see him over here. JJ, can you see him?
I'm not.
I'm
thinking of Kevin Durant. It started with a calf, and then it went to the heel. That's all.
No, the heel is like.
The heel is what? They're connected.
Yeah, but it's the bone part of it. When I believe, as a radio doctor,
you think it's the bone part of it?
Are you becoming a radio doctor?
Did he say it was the bone part of it?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
much.
only one of us does a show once.
I
a
do
week.
love that. You see now you can't even be a radio
Our
doctor.
next guest is not affiliated with the NFL.
But only one of us has an hour-long show every week.
Oh, that's
right?
actually, I forgot. Matt does too.
Yeah, I know, but I was thinking
you have like a little 10-second segment.
I was thinking his
10-minute segment.
No, Breaking Bones.
Oh, right, Breaking Bones.
Exactly.
Right.
How dare you?
And I was thinking yours came to an end, so that's the only reason we were.
It is. It's because this is the last week.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so but real quick,
We need a mashup.
The only reason I keep sticking to that is because an Achilles tendon and a calf injury are ligament and tendon related. Whereas a heel is the heel of the foot. It's a bone.
No, I understand that.
So that's why I'm kind of locked in on that, thinking it is a separate injury.
I understand
Again, they're going to be as vague as they can be. They're not going to be fully precise and detailed, that's for sure. The hip for Lacey.
Yeah, that one was interesting, and that's one that, again, I wasn't at the availability with Doug on Monday, and I was not in the press room with him Saturday because I was in the locker room, and then Monday was with Furyk and friends, so no one else asked it, but if I had been there, I would have, because I saw him immediately during pregame warm-up Saturday, not dressed, in street clothes, and he wasn't taking part in pregame warm-ups. And so apparently that's some sort of shoulder injury, at least by the tone of Doug's voice, which, again, I know some of you on the text line are asking about this press conference. It is available now on the Jaguars YouTube channel, so go find it there. By the tone in his voice, he sounded optimistic about him. The one he didn't sound optimistic about was Antonio Johnson, just because of, and Doug's words, not mine, the nature of the hamstring injury, that he would be available week 1. But good that they didn't place him on IR. He just remains day-to-day, week-to-week.
It just sounds like, you have the grade 1, 2, and 3, and it sounds like it's a little more severe than just tweaking a hamstring, which is fine as well. Be smart there.
And what you know is your...
Exactly. I have a little, what do you call it? What's the sheepskin?
Whatever.
Sheepskin up on the wall?
Right.
Radio doctor. And again, if someone could remind me what is worse, a grade 1, a grade 2, or a grade 3, then I'll have the full diagnosis.
I think
for
grade
you.
3 is the worst,
Yeah,
right?
I think so. But
Yeah.
again, we are just guessing on that one. That's for sure as far as what his is. Any other ones?
Tyler Shatley's good to go,
Yeah.
which I had spoken with Tyler pregame on Saturday, and he had told me, that they had taken him off the blood thinners Thursday. As long as he was cleared Monday morning, which he was, and he practiced this week, he's good to go. Doug said he's very happy with the health of the offensive line right now. He said Anton's going to be okay. He's battled through the soreness. The other big note, I guess there's 2 more big notes from me. We'll begin with the off the field, which is a lot of people were wondering, where's Caleb
Yeah, where was
Chason?
Caleb on?
Boys, I hate to say it, Have you ever heard about the baby bump?
Yeah, he had a baby.
Yeah, well, no, but have you heard about the baby bump?
Well, usually that's in Hollywood whenever they spot it on.
No. I'm talking about in terms of production.
Oh.
Have you ever heard the boys on Part of My Take love to say, if you have a baby
I got
and
you.
then
You
you
get the
play
boost. Yeah.
a week or two later, immediately the production
You get
goes
the
up.
boost. Yeah,
so
you get the boost.
3 sacks incoming for Caleb on week 1. Get ready, folks.
I'll have some of that.
The baby bump is here.
Yeah.
And then finally, I did clarify with Doug after he heaped tons and tons of praise on Monteric Brown, Christian Braswell, and Greg Jr. as 3 young guys that really pushed for starting spots this training camp, because the Jaguars are bringing back all 11 starters on defense from a season ago. And he just kept talking about how happy he is that they brought in these young guys. They're giving them time to develop. They're going to be starters one day. He hates the fact that so many teams just think they're going to go sign this vet, and that'll cure all their ails. And then the final question with yours truly, I said, is Trey Herndon the starter week 1? And he said yes.
Yeah.
So.
And maybe in large part, we said off of your tweet that he made that play against Miami, and that may have solidified it, because Greg Jr. has had a lot of big plays, but that may have been the one right there. In coverage, break, make your decision, and break up the pass.
And he's the incumbent.
Oh,
and
of course, yeah.
you know, against Anthony Richardson, they're going to be playing a ton of zone, which is what he thrives in. If it was a man-to-man situation, I don't know about that one.
All right, we will hand it off to the Frangie Show coming up here in just a bit right here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. The beach is calling, and she must go. Lauren Brooks.
Okay, that's not creepy.
Afternoons on The Frangie Show
Can you just back up a little bit?
on 1010XL.
I'm not a bikini waxer.
Mia here. Football is back, and so is winning season at MyBookie. Look, if you're anywhere near as fired up as we are this season, you've got to get a bet in on the action. NFL, college football, and a brand new cash-out system. MyBookie gives you options to bet and win all season long. First 2 legs of your parlay hit, cash out early and use the funds on another bet, or let it ride for the chance at a bigger payday. To get started, go to mybookie.ag now and register for an account for free. When you're ready to make your first deposit, just use promo code 1010XL to grab a welcome bonus on the house. You could still even bet on futures like win totals and Super Bowl winners. Maybe even one on the Jags? So sign up with that promo code 1010XL to claim your deposit bonus and, for a limited time, a free chip to use in the MyBookie casino. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm dedicated to helping businesses manage risk, maximize opportunities, and move their company forward. Jimerson Burr attorneys are business-oriented lawyers, equally comfortable as community leaders, private transaction counselors, or courtroom advocates. If you have a legal issue of any kind affecting your business, contact the firm at 389-0050 or jimersonfirm.com.
Whether you are looking for a job or an employer trying to hire, there's only one stop in Jacksonville, Remedy Staffing. Labor trends keep us guessing. As employers, the job market has been strong. So what does that mean for workers' availability? If you're interested in the workforce solutions or how the Remedy team can help you, call or text Crystal at 904-329-9802. 329-9802, Remedy Staffing.
Did you know the 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid never needs to be plugged in? The onboard system charges the batteries for you. When you think Honda, think hybrid. Good for the environment, great for your budget. Visit your local Honda dealer to experience the CR-V of the future today.
Former Gator Chris Doran joins Dan and Jeff on the drill. Wednesdays at 8:15. Brought to you by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah on 1010XL.
Sports injuries are a common issue for both adults and children. Dr. George Barry here, and as a specialist in orthopedic care, the team at Barry Orthopedics and Sports Medicine here in Jacksonville provides comprehensive diagnosis and treatment of all types of sports injuries. With additional training in sports medicine and more than 30 years of experience, the team is available to care for your entire family and help you have fun and stay active. Visit us today at barryorthopedics.com.
And don't forget to check out Breaking Bones Sunday morning, 7:30 on 1010XL.
These are the last days for Monahan Jewelers store-wide 50 to 60% off sale. These are the biggest savings we could possibly offer, with everything on display discounted 50 to 60% off ending Saturday, September 2nd. We bought so much brand new jewelry. We need to make room for it, and the only way to do that is to give you huge deals at 50 to 60% off everything. And the sale ends Saturday, September 2nd. Diamond jewelry, colored gemstones, gold chains, everything. Everything on display is 50 to 60% off at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic.
Introducing an exciting update from Duck Duck Rooter. Mia here and my friends at Duck Duck are thrilled to expand on their already long line of home and business services with the launch of Duck Duck Air Conditioning. As a licensed mechanical contractor, the skilled Duck Duck Air Conditioning team is equipped to handle any HVAC and refrigeration project you can throw at them. Folks, it is hot outside. There is no reason to be hot inside. Contact Duck Duck Air Conditioning today at 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckac.com.
Attention golfers, Hidden Hills Golf Club has a little bit of something for everyone. So whether you want to practice, play, or just relax with friends at the Hills Grill, Hidden Hills is the place for you. If you love golf, check us out at hiddenhillsgc.com.
What? They did not tell me they were going to do that. I need a new bank.
Well, actually, One-to-One Financial doesn't do the usual bank surprises because we're not a bank. We're a credit union. And that means lower loan interest, things like free checking and member rewards, and of course, total investment back into our community.
I'm sold.
Find a better way to bank than big banks with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Visit 121fcu.org for more information on opening an account today.
Federally insured by NCUA.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Tire Outlet. Tire Outlet is now hiring. Visit TireOutlet.com/careers. Equal opportunity employer.
Lauren Brooks joins us now. The Francis Show getting ready to roll. We made it to game day.
Oh, my goodness. Doesn't it feel so good?
Yeah, it does. And I think it feels better because Gator fan, Gator Nation thinks they got a chance for a dub. Whereas, I don't know, as little as 2 weeks ago, how juiced or jacked would Gator Nation be?
Well, we've been talking all summer, can Cam Rising play or not?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't focused that much around Tennessee, obviously, yet, because we'll worry about that when it comes. But Cam Rising is a huge, obviously, part of this game. And when you found out yesterday that he's doubtful, then you become more hopeful if you are hoping for the Orange and Blue to win the game.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I know you guys will dig in on it, but the line keeps moving. It went 4, 4.5, now 5. So Utah went back up a half point, which is definitely still a little interesting.
Yeah, how much of that is Vegas thinks and how much of that is what people are putting their money on?
Yeah, I think Vegas is seeing money come in day of, and so that maybe is people traveling in for a big – this is a big college football gambling weekend. And so maybe a lot of people came in there and said, Florida has no shot, Utah's at home, blah, 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 and they put a bunch of money on it today. So you guys will be digging into that, and what else?
Yes, we have Greg Mediarity coming in, normally 2:40, but since we're 3 to 5 today, he will be coming in at 3:40. And then we will have Rick Ballou. I know he joined you guys to talk FSU, LSU. We will have him join us at 4 o'clock.
And
Sounds
Lauren,
good.
what was that prediction you made on the 1010 social channels? 3 interceptions.
For Bryson Barnes, that's right.
And the Gators win by 2 touchdowns.
If they let him keep throwing the ball, that'll be a good question as to whether or not they do. Florida wins by 2 touchdowns if he throws 3 interceptions.
So 14-point victory. There you go.
That's a prop bet parlay if I ever heard it.
All right, sounds good, Lauren. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be listening for that one. But a 2 touchdown. Oh my gosh, how
about
overjoyed!
Brooks? Wow.
Would it will be Billy Nation instead of Gator Nation if that happens.
Oh my God.
Now, today's takeaways, brought to you by Key Buick GMC, where our family dealership has been helping families buy vehicles for over 50 years.
Well, that's my takeaway.
Yeah.
Lauren Brooks thinks they're going to win by 3 scores. I mean, my takeaway is, I'm telling you right now, he's gonna be juiced early. Mertz, he's gonna throw something a little bit high. The young receiver's not gonna be able to get on it. Tip, pick 6, and then it's gonna.
Because I would like to reiterate.
Now, for radio
It's
people,
gonna
he mumbled his way to the end of that one, so you got to.
Hopefully, you were watching on
picked
YouTube.
UF like an hour ago.
No, I picked
to cover.
I picked him to cover.
Okay.
As did I.
But you're making it seem like that pick 6 is going to balloon into make
it seem like that pick
a blowout.
6 is going to be a reason why they lose. That's
That'll
what
be
I'm
the
saying.
difference, huh?
Yeah.
But it'll
you
still
said
be
early.
close.
You said early, and then when you went to down the old toilet bowl.
That made me
That's
think
why-
that you thought it was going to be a blowout.
I could see a scenario
go
where he
south.
throws that pick six early, but the Gators rally, and that gives UF hope. But I go back to, and obviously I jetted down to the stadium, but listened to you guys on the drive there, the interview with Bill Riley, the great play-by-play voice of Utah, who I may have to turn on the TuneIn app. I like that idea.
He's really good.
I like that idea, Matt. With all due
I
respect
don't.
to
I
the
listen to
national-
1010XL
Damn
always.
right.
Also that.
Disgrace.
Also
that, JJ.
Also that. Also that.
We have tattoos.
But I liked what he said about, he thinks this is the most Kyle Whittingham believes this is the most talented roster 1 through 84 that he has had, and he has been at Utah a very, very long time. And the defense brings back how many starters, Matt?
9.
Yeah,
9
and
of
they're
11.
And they're 16th in total production.
So I go to that, and then also the baby bump. All of a sudden now, I've changed my tune on Caleb Von Chason. 6 sacks incoming.
You're buying that.
Oh, yeah, totally. I totally believe in the baby bump.
She just really means like that first game.
Yeah, the first game he's going to have 2 or 3, and you're
Yeah.
going to be like, oh, my God, and then you're not going to hear from him again until week 11.
He'll
I
anyway,
want- I
congratulations.
want some of that. There's no doubt about
That
it.
would match his
Congratulations.
career total.
I know. That's what I'm
in
saying.
One game.
I'm telling you. And between the fact that it's Anthony Richardson, no Jonathan Taylor, I think that offensive line is super suspect.
Imagine if he had 3 sacks in the first.
Yeah, but
But
like
then
I said,
he's not going to have another one until week 11. You'd have to listen to the punchline.
but get ready for this team playing with a lead and loading up on quarterbacks that are
You
inexperienced.
keep saying that. I said, I'm
Yeah.
not seeing it, man.
And so that will happen. All right, my takeaway is this defense of Florida is going to need to bring it tonight. And what Bill Riley said at least made me give pause a little bit, because if they can run, then they're not going to ask that quarterback to do as much, and then he won't be able to blitz as much. But I do think you'll see Austin Armstrong and Trevor Etienne come out of this game tonight looking like 2 big names on the Gator side. All right, we are done. That's the takeaway. We hand it off to the Frangie Show coming up next. Joe C., Mia O'Brien, Matty Hayes, Big Sirs, JJ. Enjoy tonight. Soak it up, because college football week 1 is here.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. 1010XL.